Welcome to Strongest Style, a pro wrestling podcast. I am your host, the living legend, Logan Hurston, and also your new Strongest Style world champion. And I'm, of course, joined by my co-host, the challenger, the gimmick killer, Cooper Prater.
I think, in the end, the real Sinister was the friends we made along the way.
That's Naraku, brother. And don't you forget it.
Don't remind me.
At least he isn't Nox Raijin? Was that
Nox Raijin? That's gonna be Hiromu, big dog.
That's Hiromu. They're like, it's too good. We have to give it to somebody. Somebody's got to meet our Nox quota, brother. Oh man. And then they changed the big guy's name in NXT. Did we record when Evil debuted? Yeah, Will Cruz. They named him Mason Rook. So they can't do the chant anymore.
What are we doing? That's the best chant I've ever heard. I didn't know shit about Will Cruz, really. I saw him in like maybe one Noah match from like last year. And I was like, this guy looks cool, but he's a British wrestler, so I'm probably never going to watch him ever again. But I saw, he did his NXT gimmick, and I saw the little clip of people chanting, "He's big, he's bad, he'll body slam your dad." And I was like, that's incredible. How has nobody ever thought of that before?
You're sold. See, it's funny. The only reason I knew of him was because of, sadly, I have this thing I like to do called torturing myself, which is keeping in touch with Progress Wrestling. And I just can't look away. It's like this meant something to me at a time, so I have to keep tabs on it. And I'm like every Instagram post, I see everything, Cooper. I may not talk about it, but I see everything. And you know what that man was in Progress? This is how I knew him. And I was like, is that Gene Money's nephew? That's
what you said. You sent that in our group chat, and I was like, who could he possibly be talking about?
They had a whole storyline for like a year in Progress where it was Gene Money and a member of Effers Wrestling, Session Martina, who were like a tag team, and Will Cruz was their nephew. And I was like, what? This guy looks... I don't know. He has a unique look, to say the least. He's a big guy, but he's such baby faced in the face. Like, he looks like the least intimidating man ever.
I kind of love that. Yeah, he has such a cherubic face with like his little. Well, I guess now he's cut it, but at the time the mullet, he had an incredible mullet. And by incredible, I mean like just. Harsh, like it looked. It was like the dictionary definition of mullet was. You know what he looked like? Head.
He looked like Daniel Warren Johnson drew him. Is like the best way I could describe him with that mullet. Yeah. No, he is sick. I will say that. I did do my notes and saw all the Twitter posts and stuff like that. And people were like, they got a demon. I'm like, I am happy to see any big guy do a moonsault. A man of that size, like a man that can move. It'll be interesting to see how he gets over in NXT because, they're putting him in a main event angle against knockoff Juice Robinson, Tony D'Angelo, the Don brother. And... who else was in that? Oh, Naraku. That's who else was in that.
Naraku, brother. How could I
forget?
Naraku.
How could I forget? Doesn't that literally mean like
it means hell in Japanese? Yeah.
That's what they said, and then somebody put Google Translate, and it means abyss, brother. He's back. We saw him on this show.
That's right. We're going to be talking about Evil later on up against Sabu.
Evil against Sabu. Oh my god.
Yeah, good for Takaki Watanabe. I hope that he really loves the taste of leather, and that him and Io, I don't know, get to go to the beautiful kingdom of Saudi Arabia every half a year. I don't know.
The beautiful king, bro. Saudi Arabia's vacations. That's what he's coming down for, brother.
I mean, look, man.
Okay, you want something crazy? So, Jack sent me a clip of Evil when he was Watanabe, Takagi Watanabe, and like I forget the promotion. It may have been Smash Wrestling.
It's like him telling the guy to shut the fuck up?
In the clearest, no accent. He knew one phrase. And like I went back and watched the rest of the video. I'm like, can he speak fluent? No. The rest of it is like heavily accent, like not fluent at all. But he had that phrase from down. Florida. Yeah. And the most New York accent ever. I was like, that's incredible, man. Like that's the worst part is
I saved that to my phone to use as a reaction gif to you guys, but I haven't found a good excuse yet.
The worst part is like he's not allowed to say that in NXT. Imagine if he was.
If he was just like regular guy Takaki Watanabe and he just went around telling people to shut the fuck up, I might watch NXT.
No, NXT is like it's wrestling at its peak in the way of like you will see things you'll never think you will ever see on a screen in that show. The only thing that gets worse is Evolve. Because Jack was
really is this generation's Lucha Underground in a way.
My thing is like if I was to show somebody like how messed up wrestling is, I would show them NXT. Like, because at least you could like there are some good workers there, you know, but most of them are not, and most of them are just. What are we doing? There was some girl's finisher that I saw the other night that was just like a running shoulder tackle in 2026.
That's kind of beast, honestly. I'm not gonna lie. If she laid that shit in, like Steve Williams, dog.
She wasn't Steve Williams it though. It was just a normal bump. So she ran like 3 times back against the ropes and then just like. And it was good form, but it just looked like a normal shoulder tackle bump, just a little bit, you know. Right. If she was like clothesline taking they're like hard taking that bump, yeah, I believe it. But she also went and like Power Ranger powered up before doing it. I'm like, oh, come on.
We were so close.
We were so close. But
here's what happened. She watched one of those performative ass Brooks Jensen Twitter post about
dude
wrestling that he watches, and she was like, oh, a shoulder tackle.
You know what's crazy? You know Carino won that title at the Indy, right?
Oh yeah.
Brooks Jensen wrestled him on the Indy after posted
he
posted a bunch of like the Steve Carino matches on the thing.
God, shut the fuck up.
I think it's funny that he watches so much wrestling, or if he does watch that much, and then, like, he's in NXT, brother. Like, what are we doing? That's an Alabama wrestler, brother. He could be an action wrestling Adam Priest right now.
I wish he wouldn't. He can stay over there. He can stay in Florida.
Moving on, we're going to go to a news segment. It's a lot of bad news, but also kind of good depending on the way you're looking at it. It's good for me and Cooper. Some of it is, not all of it. Like some of the releases, because that means I think some of those people might be coming to the dub. Certain tag team, hopefully.
It might be. Seems likely.
They're teasing it. But we had another tiny wave of WWE releases. Tangaloa, as they called him Tangaloa instead of Tongaloa. And WWE...
You put some respect. The most dangerous. Tongaloa.
Most dangerous.
Wasn't that his nickname?
Yeah, that was his name. He beat Will Ospreay last time they fought. That's true.
I forgot about that.
By count out, a win's a win.
It is. He went on a tear in the G1 in 2023.
He messed Okada up, brother.
I know, man. Those chops, just devastating. Yeah, truly one of the wrestlers of all time. And I think we will, the Fed is, gonna regret letting a generational worker like that go.
The fact that he got back in by hook or by crook after having...
that's Camacho.
That's what I'm saying. It's not like they haven't signed him before and knowing that was when he was like young and actually had potential. This is an old man now. They will sign almost anybody they can slap that Samoan paint on, brother. They do not care.
That brother fought Adam Rose in the first ever NXT TakeOver match.
Don't remind me. I can't believe that. We should watch that. That should be our next one. Really send you back.
You want to watch Enzo Amore graps? Because that's on the first ever NXT TakeOver.
S-A-W. Who does he wrestle? Do you remember?
Sylvester Lafort in a hair versus hair match.
I actually do remember this because they were feuding and Cena was on TV that time with Enzo. Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, then we had JC Mateo, also known as Mr. Jeff Cobb.
Jeff Ukabu, yeah.
Less than a year, brother.
Get paid.
Well, either he goes back to New Japan or, hey, brother, we got a spot for you in the Arc. Don't worry.
Oh, he does have a spot in the Arc, for sure.
He'd be good in the Arc if he actually tries.
He could be good. I don't know where Cobb's mentality is right now. I think if he puts his mind to it, he can still be like a really, really entertaining draw. I mean, but the problem, like, when he's checked out, you know he's checked out.
Yeah.
It comes across in his work. And he's been like, I mean, the last time I saw him was, at, I guess, the start of last year. So, and in that last stretch in New Japan, he was not particularly, thrilling to watch anymore. But I think that if he, gets another kind of like kick in the ass, and really makes a big run, whether that's in Japan or, in the States and in any kind of fashion, whether it's in the independents. I know he had a brief little spurts in AEW, once very early on, and then again a little later. But I think New Japan might be a little wary to take him back because I know that he kind of fucked them over with his departure. They had him set up for IWGP match, and I think that was the first Callum attempt, was as a replacement for Cobb. And there was just a ton of I remember very clearly during that time because we were doing the first show, and just the back and forth of he's listed on the WWE roster, but he's saying that you can't trust the dirt sheets, brother, and back and forth. And so I don't know. I like him when he's motivated. I don't have any ill will towards Jeffrey Cobberson, but I hope that he stops fucking around.
My thing is, like, I'm a Cobb fan, you know this, and I was very sad when he left for WWE because I knew that brother was doing nothing. There was. You are JC Mateo. You put on the Gorillas of Destiny face paint and a very bad version of it. And, brother, you are never wearing that singlet ever again. You are wearing...
The brother ain't even Tongan.
Yeah, right? Oh, my God. But I hope New Japan opens it back. I think even though the way it ended, I think there's still a chance he gets back there. I don't think it's, like, 100%. Like some people think like, oh, he's instantly gonna go back, but he did work there for a long time. He still has friends there, and I think with a lot of the system, mainly because I was listening to, don't shoot me, I was listening to Talk and Shop, the Good Brothers podcast.
Why would I ever shoot you over?
I know it's a good podcast. Honest to God, I love listening to them because they don't care. It's fun, but. Like, wrestling, ultimately, it is a money business. And I don't think most promoters, unless you're going to the dreaded enemy between CMLL and AAA, are going to be mad about you going to another company to get a paycheck. You know, it sucks, but...
Well, I don't think the problem is that he went to get a paycheck. I mean, I think the problem...
It's the way he left, yeah.
Yeah, that, like, they had plans for him that he did not follow through on.
But I don't know. They might not care. For them.
It might be water under the bridge. I hope it is. You know, I can never quite tell with New Japan's, you know, foreign talent relations. You know, how they prioritize who to bring in and who not to. But yeah, I mean, really, he's got a bunch of options available to him.
Imagine if he ends up in AJ and All Japan, bro, he becomes... That'd be hilarious. No, I hope if he doesn't end up in WWE, that he goes to Noah, because I think they're doing not WWE. If he doesn't go to New Japan, I think they're doing some things interesting in Noah. We'll get into that later.
You don't want to see that Jeff Cobb Odyssey match in the Champion Carnival, dog?
Bro, imagine he joined Team 2000X. So
I know that's what I think is most likely to happen.
Not only does he join Team 2000X, but he just keeps doing the new Bloodline face makeup.
It was a good look for him.
But yeah, then the big release, the New Day have mutually agreed to part ways with WWE. The reports that a lot of people were coming out with was that they signed a 7-figure deal for 5 years last year, an extension, and TKO asked them to restructure their deal. They said no, and they both agreed to let New Day be released, and they'll get out of that deal. Reportedly that there was a lot of people on the roster were asking to restructure deals, take pay cuts. So apparently, reportedly, I don't know how much the validity of this is true or not, but somebody who was a majorly pushed talent took a 50% pay cut on their deal. If that is true, you should be tried in wrestling court, and you should be kicked off of any bus on European tours. You should never be allowed to be in the locker room, because that is such... Once one person does that, the whole house crumbles, you know? Like, if that is true, and if it is a major wrestler, like if it is like I don't think it's like a main event guy. Maybe Seth, but
no, it's not Seth. I can tell you that right now. I have insider knowledge. No, I don't.
No,
but I have a very strong feeling it's not Seth. Or, you know, anybody really, like, in kind of the, you know, main kind of, like, title pictures on Raw or SmackDown, you know. I think it's probably more likely somebody, like, on the level of, I don't know, maybe Gunther, you know, maybe, like the Usos, or, you know, like the kind of regular players who are on TV every week, not undercarders, because I don't think that TKO would. I'd like at that point you're not making enough for TKO to care about your salary anyways. But you're making a pretty decent amount of money. And maybe you've been in the company for a while making that decent amount of money. But you're not, you know, a absolute, like, top of the line ticket drawing big star who can potentially have more leverage than TKO in negotiations. Somebody like a Roman, for instance, if TKO asks Roman to take a 50% pay cut, he's just gonna walk.
Yeah,
like, you know, he'll go and I don't know, be in Fast and Furious presents whatever his character's name from Hobbs and Shaw was. You know, like that's what Roman will do. Cody will walk out. He'll go back to AEW. He'll I don't know,
with open arms, brother.
Yeah, he'll be, the lead of the Street Fighter cinematic universe. You know, like he's got shit planned. But like, the majority of the roster just underneath that don't have that leverage, quite frankly. I don't even think somebody like a Gunther does.
I'd be shocked if it was Gunther, though, just because I feel like he's someone that could very easily go to the other company. Like there's certain ones where it's like, I don't see them, or it's like they ask to take a pay cut or something like that, where it's like, you may not think you get a shot in AEW. You may not get, but like Gunther's someone I feel like very easily could like go to AEW and get $1 million deal.
I mean, we say that, but like, man, he's been so comfy there for so long at this point. Like, I don't know. I just like, I get the feeling that like he just likes it in WWE.
Well, I know. I just think the main thing about like a lot of these things is like, how is your work rate for, like, if you would jump to AEW, and who do you have friends with? And, like, I mean, Gunther worked all those guys on the indies. I mean,
sure.
So.
Could have been Sammy. Could have been Sami Zayn.
Dude, that would. I mean, he's already, like, going down and down this, like, rabbit hole. Like, if it was him, dude, that would break. My hope is just, like, The Miz.
Could have been Chad Gable. Could have been, I don't know.
Gable, I wouldn't be shocked by.
Could have been anybody.
Bro, The Miz just sold $7 million house. It's got to be him.
Sure.
He's on TV every week, so.
That story about the contracts, I mean, like, people were shocked and outraged by it, but I mean, they've been telling you that this is who they are for years at this point. If you're shocked by now, I think you're just a dummy. Like,
the funny thing is people are like, oh, it's TKO. And sure, like it is. But also, who let those people in? This is all
like
the trickle down of Vince's sins. It's like
100%.
This is all like you can say, oh, Vince wouldn't allow this to happen, stuff like that, but he did because he sold the company to these people.
If Vince was making the kind of revenue that TKO is making currently, he would have been doing this exact same thing. But he never in a million years has got to the point that TKO is at right now.
Yeah.
I mean, like it's become bolder and less, there was like a veil of sympathy in the Vince regime, because it was for the longest time privately owned. And then even when he went public, it was still treated as kind of like, a mom and pop operation.
Yep.
And so, there's this kind of veil of, oh, we're all a family. Oh, we hate, the best of luck in your future endeavors. They don't even bother with that shit anymore.
No.
They're just saying like,
they won't even announce when there's releases. Yeah.
Yeah, and they don't announce it either. Yeah, they rely on dirt sheets to actually release the news. So that they get all the heat, and so that Zelina Vega can go on her Twitch stream and shout at Sean Ross Sapp instead of the guy that fucking fired her.
Right? No, the big thing for this is like, I just think now for certain people realizing there is no like, maybe the only two talents like that, the only talents I think are safe are like Cody Rowan, you know, and even Cody, like he could just decide if they try to lowball him, I'll go back to AEW. I think Punk is safe for as long as he's a top guy. And like once his body starts I don't think he'll be around for long anyway. He doesn't need this.
I think Punk is safe as long as they guarantee him a backstage role.
Yeah. Well, I think he's someone that he doesn't even care about. He cares about money, but he doesn't care about like. I think he cares about when he's a wrestler. I don't think he cares about like as long as he's like backstage. You know, and I don't think he has that many years left. He is 45. You know, there's not going to be that many years of top guy Punk where he's going to be pushed as a main event, you know, an attraction. You know, after a while, that attraction wears off. But, like, I mean, New Day is one of, if not the most legendary team in WWE history in modern era. I would say it's them and the Usos, and you can pick the Usos all day, but they had their older cousin politicking for them. You know, they had, like, New Day is the biggest grassroots tag team, like genuinely just made it on their own. I mean, not even counting what they've done in the tag team division, not counting that, you know, Kofi was a world champion, that they made Big E eventually a world champion, Xavier Woods King of the Ring. If you just look at like what Xavier Woods has done for like their relations, you know, Austin Creed of like the Up Down Down brand that he created, that he single-handedly basically like does all the content for, the stuff he does with 2K, the, you know, with other creators, with, you know, reaching out.
An incredible example of Xavier Woods is an incredible example with the Up Down Down brand, channel, whatever, of a true, honest to goodness, like self-made success story, right? Like, just you go back and you look at the early videos of that channel. I remember because I was watching the early videos of that channel. Just wrestlers backstage playing video games before and after their matches. You know, you'd see them like, you know, come and go and congregate around, like, you know, the little system they had set up in the back, and it was this like just really fun, like little, you know, kind of slice of life almost, that, you know, fans had never gotten to see, and it blows up and eventually becomes, you know, kind of not, I don't think he ever like official, like, you know, I think he still controls the Up Down Down brand specifically, but he lent so much of that channel to, you know, promotion of WWE, and, you know, promoting that brand relationship between the two of them. And WWE benefited so much more from that than he did. And,
yeah,
you know,
I'm pretty sure WWE owns the channel now because they bought it from him or made sure that, you know, and like whatever he is getting paid, he gets you back on that channel alone, on the amount of like recognition and content he's made for you guys for free, basically, on his own free time, on the time away from TV and stuff like that. Not counting like, I mean, like, this is how proven success is. Tyler Breeze got released, you know, and like,
yes,
it's a big deal that like if you get released and you go to another company, you can't appear on Up and Down anymore. But Breeze got released, pretty much went into indies, did whatever he wants, and he basically signed a deal to be on Up Down because he could get him that job because he had that much pulling power, you know. But like, you know, these are guys that like I would have never bet in a million. I think I actually said to my boss the other day, I'm like, there's certain guys you never let go of, like the New Day. I'm like, they've done so much for the company, had been around for so long, and Xavier has such a thing. I thought like if Xavier didn't have, or Austin Creed, I'm gonna call him that now because that's gonna be his name, and whenever he comes back to wherever he goes. But if Creed didn't have Up Down, I could see him being possibly on the chopping block. But like, I don't know, man. Like, two things that suck here. One, it proves that literally anybody can cut. It does not matter what you've done for the company. It is what can you do for me now, even if you've earned that. Because back in the day, even with Vince, they would have like veterans that would stick around and get paid. They would get a pay increase.
He had favorites.
Yeah, he had his favorites. Which like TKO doesn't. It's a full on. There is no favorites here. There is whatever you can pay for me now. And a lot of these deals that they're signing, like with like Santos and stuff like that, I'm not actually signing you to 5 years this much money. I'm signing you to 1 year. Let's see if you're worth what I'm signing you for, or if not, you're getting cut. You're not getting paid.
I'm signing you 1 year. I'm going to pay you for this. I'm going to promise you this 5-year deal for a shit ton of money, more money than you've ever seen in your life. It's actually going to be 1 year as a trial run, explicitly to keep you from signing somewhere else.
Yeah, and it's like
that's what those deals are.
If you don't prove to me in that year that you are a main event guy or you're selling a bunch of merch, you can get lost. And like the thing is, like with the New Day, it's not even like they weren't good. It was just like they just stopped putting them on TV a lot. It's not their fault.
Yeah, entirely the fault of creative and of booking.
But The biggest thing for me about this, which I think has been talked about, is two things. One, TKO has been getting rid of the house shows. Like, I think McIntyre talked about it recently on, like, the Bobby Bones show or something like that, where he's like, he's doing Undertaker types, where he's like, I get ready to wrestle every 2 months. Like, I don't wrestle TV, I don't wrestle house shows. I'm getting my body ready for that. My body gets banged up, but that's it. Which is not really good in the whole ethos for wrestling, because a lot of times when you take breaks like that, your body's not used to it. That's where you get stuff where Taker has to literally take a year because he can't, and other guys like Punk and stuff like that. But
it's like building up a callus.
The death of house shows and the cutting of veterans like this is really going to be, I'll be interested to see how WWE goes for the next couple of years, because it's what they seem to be doing is pulling a lot of people up from NXT that they've, used for a couple years, and they have them on cheaper contracts. So again, it saves money bringing them up to main roster, because they'll be on main roster minimum. They don't have to pay them a lot of money compared to everybody else. And then when they cut all these veterans as house shows, all these young guys who are coming up, they're not going to get the matches with the experienced veterans and stuff like that. They're not going to get the reps to become these, great wrestlers or really find their sea legs on TV, and it'll be interesting to see. It's a very sink or swim environment, and even if you do swim, we may not want to pay you as much as you're worth. So it makes it's a very sad thing for wrestlers. It makes a very interesting wrestling landscape for fans, which is not good. I'd rather the wrestlers, even though I hate that company, I'd rather them get paid a bunch of money for their company because they've earned it, But it'll be interesting to see.
I want that company to fucking die.
That's true. I just like wrestlers to be able to get money, mainly. It's the certain ones. Not all of them, but
And it's a good thing that there's another place that can give them a lot of money.
But not every, they're not going to sign everybody kind of thing,
Yeah, of course. Nor should they.
Nor should they. But, it'll be interesting to see. I think Creed and Kofi in AEW would be immaculate. I think... I don't know who they would tag with as a third if they did like the elite match, because obviously E's,
Yeah.
It'd be interesting too how Big E reacts now after them basically cutting their boys like that. Because he's kind of been just like brand representative if he sticks around longer or not,
Yeah.
Because he has ventures outside of wrestling, so
he does. Yeah. And I don't know what his situation is like, if he still has, like continuing medical cost that he, maybe needs to consider before making any kind of decisions like that. But I mean, surely to God, you would imagine emotionally that must have been a real blow to him.
For sure. I mean, it's brutal, man. Like, you're seeing your boys that you basically, from you guys came out of the mud together. You came from nothing. Literally, you all felt like you're on the chopping block to building up this legacy. Like, there is, like, there's very few things in Big E's career that is not New Day related. And even then, his favorite time in his wrestling career was all that time when they were together. And you get to watch them basically like, them lowball your boys, you know, be like, hey, take a 50% cut. I'm sure he's furious too. And I think a lot of the talent are and have been kind of saying that, you know, tweeting like, you know, apparently there was supposed to be a statement by WWE, but it didn't come out. So,
yeah, I mean, I'm sure that for Kofi and Creed, like, you know, they're going to be fine coming out of this. I have no doubt about that. AEW is a likely landing spot. I don't know exactly how they will translate to that environment. I mean, it's just going to be weird just seeing. I mean, they've spent so long in one place. Kofi especially.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the last time Kofi was, you know, not affiliated with WWE was like, I don't know, like maybe 2001 or something, you know? Like, so, seeing how they both react to being in new waters in such a drastically different wrestling landscape will be interesting. I worry about, you know, even though I would love to see them, and even though I have a big soft spot for the New Day, I think they're really talented workers, the both of them. I worry about, you know, the AEW getting the, you know, the same bloat problem that they have kind of always been teetering on the edge of having, sometimes more explicitly than at others. But, you know, even if they come in really hot off of this release, you know, okay, what do they look like 2 years from now?
Yeah.
What do they look like, you know, what do they even look like a year from now? So those are things you have to consider as well. Well, that being said, though, you have to do the Young Bucks match.
Yeah. Well, my thing is, too, is like...
You have to.
Not only the Young Bucks match, but like right now with them and Motor City Machine Guns. And like within, you know, a couple days, so you could have like a really big 1-2 punch of like... I mean, the biggest 1-2 punch is probably Adam Cole and Bryan the same night. I think the good thing about the New Day is I think AEW's some of their weakest division is their tag division.
Right now, yeah.
Right now, for sure. Like, you have some dedicated tag teams, but then you have some that go in and out. Like, you have the Hurt Syndicate that just, like, has been off TV forever. You have Brodito that, like, well, now that they had a title reign, like, haven't really tagged since then. So it's like you have, like, this FTR, you know, Christian, stuff like that. And you have some other teams, you know, that are dedicated, but, like, a lot of times aren't being pushed. I think you have Motor City Machine Guns come in and the New Day. Like, those are pushed to the top of the division pretty quickly. Now, it may upset some people in the division. But, like, you're telling me if you have those 5 teams, you could do, like, and a lot of people are saying it, like, I think they should do a big tag tournament this year with all of those teams with big stakes. I mean, you know, I think also, like,
yeah, you could.
Just, I understand, like, the idea of problems with, like, what you will do with them creatively in 3 years, but I don't think that matters in the sense of, I think they most care about, obviously, right now is they've had great wrestling careers. They are Hall of Famers right now if they retire this day. But they also are family men. They want to be paid well. And if they go to AEW and Tony doesn't care about opening the wallets, I mean, he's not going to pay him, like, an insane amount of money. He's not going to pay him, like, you know, like, top. I mean, you're
not,
but
probably,
he's going to probably pay him close to, you know, whatever, $1 million a year or something like that. You know, not only do you get them for your division, but, like, I think they could be really helpful for the young guys in there and be in that coaching position. Or, again, like, you bring in Xavier, who's dedicated into this video game realm, works with Capcom along with Kenny, you know, and you have another guy who's like very well into the 2K system, and like if you want to make a new game, there's a guy right there who can help out.
If they could finally nail that out, that would be big for them.
Yeah, big for them. And then just like they have an AEW Games channel, let Creed take that over.
Yes.
And do up, down, down with AEW.
All due respect to Evil Uno. You gotta let Austin run that.
That's what I'm saying. Like he pays for himself, and then a guy like Kofi, if for some reason Creed wants to take a step back and just do gaming stuff for a while or stuff like that, like he can at any point be in that mid card to upper card, and like be that old veteran trying to get it done. And I think there's so many guys on that roster who are influenced by Kofi that like would love to link up with them. Or you could just like send him to Ring of Honor for a little bit. I'm sure he would get a kick out of that because he never really did the indies,
Yeah.
But
him and John Morrison, looking up like it's 2009.
Brother, him and Nick Wayne.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, that particular release was, I think, really, odd that it was staggered from the, bigger block that came out a couple weeks ago. But I think by far probably going to be more impactful than maybe any of the names that were in that big block. So we'll see how everybody lands, I guess.
It's the biggest WWE release in years. I can't think of like a bigger one in recent memory. Can you? Like you could say arguably.
I mean, Brian. Although Brian wasn't cut.
Brian wasn't cut though. Brian just ran out of his contract.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like I can't think of the last time like that big of a name. I mean, it's definitely happened before, but maybe Moxley. Did Moxley wait out his contract or he get cut?
I think Mox was granted a release, and he asked for it, and I think they gave it to him eventually. Yeah. So maybe that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, there was more stuff that happened this week, Logan.
Yeah. Is there anything before we get into the big one that just happened today?
Keeping it in a strictly dour mood, obviously, and staying in AEW. I think Strongest Style wants to give a big, sincere get well to Rebel in AEW. Diagnosed recently with ALS. It is a incredibly rough hand to be dealt. Thankfully, in this day and age, medical technology is, the most advanced it's ever been. So not, quite as, debilitating as it possibly could have been years ago. But regardless, it is tough. And from all accounts, Rebel seems like just an absolute joy. It's never good for anybody to come down with something like that, but for her particularly, it seems just kind of like a real cruel kind of spin of the dice there. But so that, I mean, there's not too much else to say other than just that we hope all the best for her.
Yeah, I saw that, and I'm not gonna lie, I watched the video, and it was heartbreaking, man. Like I was tearing up. I followed her for a long time. I followed her since TNA. So back in the old Total Nonstop Action Impact Wrestling days. ALS is a very hard disease. It's something that like there isn't a cure right now. There's like a quality of life thing they can help with, but like most of the time it lasts for, you get 4 to 6 to maybe 10 years and quality of life goes down. It's a thing that, people have been trying to find a cure for years and years and years. And it is very worrying because, Rebel got diagnosed. This is the most recent one, but I think a year or so ago they had a deathmatch wrestler, Jeff Cannonball, that was also diagnosed with ALS. And back to back to have this is just brutal, man. I'm happy that she has still been she's been dealing with health stuff for a while. I know this has been like, it's sad, but it's also happy that she at least knows what the diagnosis is. You finally find out what the problem is and do what they can to help that problem. But what I am happy to see is that through this time, she's never been like let go of her AEW contract, and she was very thankful to Tony, which I assume he's been helping as much as he can with a lot of medical finances and keeping her on the insurance and stuff like that, even though she hasn't been on TV and forever because of this.
Sure.
And recently on Collision, they had a segment where they sent prayers up for Rebel, and Tony talked about it, Shivani, and that makes me very happy as a company to like keep helping her as much as they can. I think that's a mark of just a good company that just like, it doesn't matter if something happens, like you should help your workers through injury, through illness. Like if they were under your contract or around it, or if the contract was expiring around when this happening, if you are a billionaire, you should open up your pockets, personally. If you're, and same with like TKO, if you're,
it's literally a drop in the bucket for you.
Yeah. But I think we're all sending our condolences and prayers to her, and hopefully there's some more research that can, who knows, maybe one day we will find a cure. But
anything's possible.
And then keeping it on the downer.
Sure.
And in the wheelhouse of TBS, Mr. Ted Turner, owner of WCW. Yes. Owner of Turner Broadcasting Systems.
The Superstation.
The Superstation. Turner Classic Movies, something I still watch to this very day. The Atlanta Braves formerly made them America's team in baseball. TNT, you name it, has Turner on it.
CNN, Cartoon Network.
Yep. Adult Swim. Shout out. But most notably to all of us wrestling fans, the man who brought WCW to the big stage has passed away at 87 today. It's sad. It's sad when anytime we talk about death. I am happy he got to live a long, prosperous life. He had been out of the wrestling game for a long time. He'd been out of like the TV game. It is interesting when we talked about like billionaires. There's some mindset there's not like a good billionaire and stuff like that, and I can understand that. I think when you have that much money. But
somebody got screwed in the path to that. Absolutely.
But he, like me and you, just, it is very funny that like he ultimately did with like all of his businesses and money, just did stuff that he thought was cool. He was like, I like wrestling and I hate Vince McMahon. I'm just gonna fund my own company as long as I can. And like, honest to God, if he didn't retire and sign that Time Warner deal, like I don't think WCW would have died as fast as it did. The only reason it died because he was like, I'm retiring. Same with the Braves. He was like, I like the Atlanta Braves. I'm from Georgia, so I'm going to pay all the money to have every single game on TV, and everybody can watch it for free at any time, And like making the first 24-hour news station in CNN, like pretty sick. There was a tweet about it that said, someone said that if you comparing Ted to Vince, Ted was the exact opposite of Vince in every way because he was successful in everything outside of wrestling, and that wrestling was just like a fun little hobby for him that he enjoyed. It wasn't his life, and that's why Vince hated him so much, because he was so much better than him in every aspect. And I couldn't think of anybody saying anything bad about him that I could find, at least.
According to Jane Fonda, he was her favorite of her ex-husbands.
That's pretty sick. That is pretty sick.
That's a pretty high bar.
Yeah.
I would take that. But I mean, it is kind of funny to be talking about and sort of eulogizing Ted Turner within the context of professional wrestling because of just, I mean, generally how little it mattered. Yeah. Kind of life and career. But it is interesting, and he was a guy. The socialist in me obviously does not want to congratulate any billionaires, no matter how cool I think some of the things that they spend their money on are. But I as a historian, can acknowledge that Ted Turner is one of I think a couple of people who quite tangibly made the world different.
Yeah.
Sometimes in good ways. He was a massive conservationist. I think he, at one point owned the most land in the entirety of the United States, and mostly used it to rehabilitate the bison population from basically damn near extinction. Like that, if you've ever had a bison burger at like a fancy restaurant in the past couple of years, thank Ted Turner for that. He put his voice and his money behind a number of humanitarian causes as well. And sometimes in negative ways, maybe negative ways that he couldn't foresee. I don't think, that he knew that having a constantly running 24-hour news cycle would be, the lead up to the death of humanity. But, here we are. But I won't blame him for that quite. I don't think he had the gift of
the hubris.
Foresight.
He didn't know.
Yes. He was too worried thinking about whether or not he could. He didn't stop to think about whether he should.
To be fair, if he didn't, somebody else would have.
That's true. I would rather it be a down home Georgia boy than some cretin from I don't know, New York or LA. But also, and speaking of which, I mean, he is incredibly responsible, him and the 1996 Olympics, for making Atlanta what it is today.
True.
You can't talk about really the history of Atlanta without mentioning Turner and what it meant to that city to have so much financial backing from him. Really created a whole swath of industry there. But also in his side job, he was a wrestling promotion owner. And there's the little anecdote that I think is so funny, where after he purchases WCW from the NWA, and he, I believe, calls Vince McMahon and says, "Hi there, Vince. This is Ted Turner. I just want to let you know that I'm going to be joining you in the wrestling business." And Vince gets quite upset about this and says, "Well, Ted, you will not be in competition with me because I am not in the wrestling business. I'm in the television business." Which I think goes to show two things. One, how uncomplicated Ted Turner is or was, and also how incredibly insecure and sensitive Vince McMahon was. The Monday Night Wars and the kind of cultural zeitgeist that it created, with these two men at the heads of those respective companies. I mean, it people have made their entire careers talking about it, you know. Whether that's, you know, from the, you know, books and documentaries that have come out, you know, detailing every single kind of step of the process, or to, you know, people who were involved at the time, you know, Eric, how long has Eric Bischoff made a career out of just telling people that he basically worked for Ted Turner for, like, you know, 10 years. So, it was, yeah, I mean, just a really seismic shift in professional wrestling as it was consumed in America. And he is a incredibly large portion of that. Obviously, you know, we tend to save these kinds of eulogies for the workers themselves, and as we should. You know, those are the men and women who are quite literally putting their bodies and lives on the line in order to give us some, you know, brief entertainment for, you know, maybe 10-20 minutes, you know, every week. But wrestling is a huge, like, just complicated sort of web of people and of jobs, you know, from broadcasters to referees to cameramen to you know, the television executives. All of these people contribute in some way to this vast tapestry of what we now call professional wrestling. And I think it is important, you know, to give each of them a little bit of credit when we can. So, yeah, that's the strongest style Ted Turner tribute.
For sure, for sure. And as is tradition, we are going to hit the 10 bell salute, and we will be back right after this. And welcome back to Strongest Style. That's it for the news segment. Ran about an hour long. That's always true, you know. It is funny where it's like, oh, there's not much to talk about this week, and then it becomes incredibly a lot of stuff to talk about. But moving on, me and Cooper didn't get to talk any wrestling last week because Jack decided it's New Japan time, and we had to do the draft. Is there any update on that, Cooper? I know you're working diligently in your.
I have finally gotten every single drafted wrestler downloaded into the game in full. I will be sorting them into their respective rosters expeditiously, and we will update you on the first card results of each of those in due time.
There is one big update about the draft. Breaking news. Spirit Pro Wrestling and Hossland Wrestling Association made a groundbreaking trade. Not like it hasn't happened before. Once again, Cooper said, and I quote, "Whatever I need to do, you are giving me, Nigel." And offered up basically every man on his roster. And though I could have taken a Mystico or a John Moxley, I knew that would be cruel. And you had a vision that I didn't want to mess up. And I knew there was one person who wasn't on your vision who you took just to spite me.
It was in fact a broader play.
Yeah, it was a broader play.
Just for your annoyance.
There was a part of me that was like, maybe I'll just keep Nigel But I didn't want to do that to you. I did have an idea though.
Well, because I know that I know that Nigel was not in your vision either.
Well, no, honestly, when I had him in my thing, and I was like, well, if Cooper doesn't get him, then I'll probably go for him. I don't know why Cooper wouldn't go for him, but I was like, he's awesome. I mean, I love Nigel. Probably not. Look, you don't love Nigel. A deep infatuation for that man. Start. I'm not going to say that because I know how much you love him, but I would say I love him a lot. You know, I think that's fair to say. Sure. But the deal is co-zone for Nigel, and Nigel I think can make, is it 2 or 3 appearances? I don't remember the exact.
2, you said. Don't
get
tricky with it now that the trade is done.
He gets to put over. He gets his Blue Panther match, and he gets to put over. I think Atlantis Jr. or Yuya. I might have him work Rudo against Atlantis Jr., which I think would be pretty awesome. Something like that. I don't know. I might put him into Yuya. Either Yuya or Atlantis is gonna get the big rub from Nige. Time limit draw, you know, and he'll get to beat Blue Panther. I just want to see that match, just so he could say he fought him better and beat him quicker than Brian did. You know, he gets that tip in his cap. Are you gonna treat him as a face or a heel?
You'll just have to wait and see.
Bastard!
I told you one of my plans.
Yeah, I know
already. So you can infer something from that.
I just don't want to. I don't want to air out our personal chats live on air. But yeah, I'll let you go first. What was your favorite thing that happened this past week that you saw, or last couple weeks in wrestling?
So I did not get to watch pretty much any wrestling for a large portion of the week. The only things really that I actively tried to tap into were the big Stardom All-Star Grand Queendom 2026 because I love AI graphics for entrance videos, and I was like, I gotta see what those suck, and Stardom should stop doing it, and it is an active hindrance to me watching their promotion. But there was a couple matches on the card that I was interested. I did not watch every match. I'll go ahead and say that.
It was 5 hours.
It was 5 hours, and I was absolutely ran over from work, from life, from a whole bunch of stuff. So believe it or not, I did not want to watch 5 hours of Stardom. But the stuff that I did watch and the stuff that I think was good was as follows. If I can find the cage match profile for it. Or actually, it's probably got a Wikipedia page, right?
Yeah, for sure, right? Surely.
Yeah. It does. All right, here we go. So Maki Ito versus Natsupoi was very, very funny. I liked this match quite a bit. I had no context, by the way, for pretty much any of these matches. I have not been tapped into Stardom at all. I don't know what the context of most of these feuds are. I'm just going in totally blind. I did get the impression, though, that this match was essentially Maki Ito trying to definitively prove that she was, in fact, the cutest in the world, or the cutest in Stardom, or whatever. I forget exactly what the little review page that I read up on it was. Yeah, so her and Poi, who I think has admittedly not grabbed me as much recently. I've seen a couple matches of hers from this year. She was on the latest Surrealism card because I think her and Surreal are still buddies. She's been in a couple of indie spots that I've seen. But generally speaking, I don't necessarily vibe with her kind of presentation, her kind of stop. And I wish that she would kind of like lock in a little more. You know what I'm saying? But that's a broad point. I think that in this particular match, it's really good that she didn't lock in, actually, because I think if you try doing that in a Maki Ito match, you are missing the point, and you will come across like the biggest killjoy mark in the world. But Natsupoi was playing the game here, and it was really fun. There were some like comedy spots that I didn't quite get because I don't speak Japanese, but I could infer from body language kind of what was happening. I watched the Gauntlet tag match. My only points on that is that the best period in it was the God's Eye versus, I believe, Neo Genesis team. That segment in particular really, really rocked. Just because all of those wrestlers are really great. The Neo Genesis team was Starlight Kid and Mei Sarah, and God's Eye was represented by Amy Sore and Hina. So that was just a little killer tag match in the middle of this big, huge gauntlet. FWC ended up winning, Hazuki and Kaguma, and they're really great. I actually thought about drafting them for one of my tag teams in the draft a while back ago, but just missed the cut. I think they might have pinned the Stars team of B. Priestley and Saya Aida, which B. Priestley will factor into things later on in the card as well. Spoiler alert, I don't like B. Priestley that much.
Shocker. Shocker.
Yeah, I know. I did not watch the Rana Yagami Emma Maishima match. I've heard it's very good. I like Rana Yagami a lot, so I will probably go back and watch that. The Mi Vida Loca subgroup team of Bloody Girls School, which is Suzu Suzuki and Rina Yamashita, took on Maika and Hanako in a hardcore tag team match. This match was not very good. It was pretty funny because at the start of this match, I don't know if Mi Vida Loca have been doing this for a while, but Rina Yamashita brings out a bunch of highballs and requests that Maika and Hanako drink them with her and Suzu, and that was quite good because I approve of people drinking during matches. And I skipped the O2 line or online or whatever.
Yeah,
Azumi and Miyu Amazaki team versus BMI 2000. I skipped that match. That does not seem like something that I would like at all, even though I do love Azumi. I also did not watch the Hanan or Konami match. I did watch the best match on this card and a certified match of the year, Shuri versus the Megasis, Megan Bain, Logan Hurston.
Oh, baby.
Have you watched this match?
Brother, I'm going to be honest. Jack sent that 5-hour Stardom show, and I said, okay, we're going to talk about it next week. I'll wait till next week to watch it. And then you're like, we're talking Stardom today. I was like, uh-oh. I was like, I've never beaten the allegations. I was like... I was
going to make you
I plan on watching it.
These allegations.
But I was like, oh, Jack's going to want to talk Stardom next week because he's the Stardom guy. So I was like, oh, I'll just wait for that. I'll be like all Japan next week. But I saw the card, and I was like, whoa. I saw that, and I was like circling it as
You're going to be saying whoa the entire time you're watching this match, because I was saying whoa the entire time I was watching this match. Oh my god, this ruled so hard. Seeing Megan outside of the tag role that AEW has kind of slotted her into, and she's really good in that role. I like Divine Dominion, and both her and Lena have a boatload of charisma. Regardless, they can squash jobbers all day, and I'll be fine with it. Mm-hmm. But seeing her really put in a situation where she has to put in the fucking work, oh my god, it was great. I like this is, this reminds you why AEW signed her in the first place. And I was like, why can't I have this like every week? And then I remember that AEW doesn't have anybody. Well, no. I don't know. They have some people who could maybe get on Shuri's level, but I don't really know that they have anybody quite there yet, really. At least nobody that they're booking like it. And Shuri, I mean, if you've listened to this podcast for any amount of time, you know how big we are into her work, and she's going to be, I think, a pod favorite until she retires. But man, oh man, she does some really good, like, the structure of this is really good. I mean, obviously there's an insane size difference between the two of them, and they play into that. But like, the whole match is essentially Shuri trying to figure out ways to get Megan Bayne on the ground. And when she finally does, dude, there is some of the most batshit crazy grappling I've seen in a while. She pulls some shit out of her, like, just like bag of tricks that I have never seen. And it was awesome. She does, I guess, spoiler alert for a match, which that doesn't really matter. You'll see it in context, and it'll be a whole new thing to you. But Logan, I'm going to tell you right now, there's a spot where Shuri, and you know how Shuri looks, right?
Yes.
She gets Megan Bayne in an electric chair position, and she fucking damn near one-winged angels her. But she doesn't quite, like, get the full tuck, so Megan Bayne drops directly on her head. It was fucking crazy. And apparently this is just a move that Shuri does sometimes. I don't think I've seen it before, but it was awesome. Yeah, you got to watch this match if you're listening. Our fans over in India, please put down what you're doing right now. Go to the official Stardom World website or other locations that I am not of
privy of.
Yeah, I'm not. I would never dare suggest you go anywhere other than the official Stardom World website. But go and watch this fucking match. Oh my god, it rules.
Is there anything else you want to talk about on this Stardom show, or is that it?
Oh, and I guess Saya Kamatami isn't the Wonder of Stardom champion anymore. Or World of Stardom champion, my bad. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, let's move on.
Cooper,
if I say what I was gonna say, we're gonna get fucking doxxed or something.
Cooper, I want you to guess the best match I've watched in the last 2 weeks.
What was the best match that you watched in the last 2 weeks?
I want you to guess.
Oh, fuck. I'm trying to remember what all you put in your little thing. Because you're you, I'm gonna say it was Senka, Big Senka versus Chris Hero.
I'm not lying. Stone Cold Match of the Year, certified triple platinum in the Hurston household.
That's what I heard. I need to settle down and watch it.
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about big White Raven squad, Shane Hayes versus Yoshiki Inamura.
That was
the best
certified
match.
Classic.
Dude, Big Hayes is back, and he won the.
Every spot I've seen from it looks great.
He gets like at one point he does a coast to coast drop kick with Inamura, like not in cannonball position, but like draped over the ropes, like basically like in a tree of woe, but reverse. So where he's like back first, and he kicks him directly in the neck. Like, yeah, I was like, oh my.
There's a spot kind of like that in the Unbreakable.
Yeah, it's true. And like, I mean, and they had like drop kicks like that. It was like insane. And I could not believe that Haste won the title. Like, I remember when we were saying that I've been like pretty big on Haste for a while. I've always loved TMDK. I loved him and Mikey. And I was actually listening to that podcast I was talking about talking shop. I was listening to it was the episode where they just had one with Haste on there after he won the title. The good bro's like, we didn't realize you were gonna win, brother. We were watching for the merch table. We watched the clips. But you know, like I remember for the longest time we're like, where's TMDK? Where's TMDK? Like they're still on the New Japan roster, but they're just not being used, you know? And like I've gone like since then and like really deep dived on just like the whole career of Hayes. You know, Hayes hasn't won a singles title since his little EPW, his Perth Wrestling Association, like 17 years. He's been a tag guy, you know, like he hasn't even had singles matches. He talked about it when he used to go, like, he used to wrestle like a lot of those like SoCal matches. And that's how like him and Anderson knew each other for like 20 years, where he would just like save up all his money, live 3 months in California, and then like build his way up from like as a singles guy of like going from like the jobber to like getting title matches by the end of the run and then leave and then do that again, and then he would have to build himself all the way back up, because even though the bookers know and they're like, yeah, we don't care. It wasn't until like him and him and Mikey started tagging that like he started seeing like some success and stuff like that. And like, you know, him and Mikey did like the Harley Race School and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but
well, they had an early Noah run that was great.
Yeah,
they're
sorry, go ahead.
Their GHC tag win is like one of the best like tag matches I've ever seen.
I do have a great tidbit about that I learned from Talking Shop. So they were asking about it, and he was like, yeah, I had to get like, 6 stitches. Mikey had to get 5 after that match. And, we had never bladed before, and the Noah ref had made the blade, and he said, it wasn't like, bro, that was he said that was a straight up like, that was a knife. And he said he didn't know how to, he'd like maybe done it one time, but he goes, so Mikey, how do I blade? And he goes, you just push it in until you can feel your bone and you push out. And like Gallows heard that and started going, no, that's not what you do, brother. Why? He's like, did he really tell you push it until you feel it? He's like, yeah, that's what he did, and that's what I did. And then I was like, did I get it good? And then he looks at Mikey, he's like, oh. But like Hayes,
anybody who's seen Mikey Nichols wrestle knows that that makes all the sense.
Yeah, right. It's just like insane to think of like career tag guy who had, him and Mikey had a Noah run for a little while. I think he had like one GHC challenge back in the day when Kenta had the belt. Career tag guy, had a Noah run in the early 2010s, left for a decade. Went to NXT, did nothing. Got that main roster check during COVID as Slapjack. Came back to New Japan. They finally won the tag titles for them to just sit on the shelf for like 2 years, basically. Like he was just working California indies during these times, just like whatever he could, because New Japan wasn't calling back. To just like walking into Noah and winning their biggest title. He's the 3rd Gaijin ever. He's the 50th GHC heavyweight champion. 50th. Is insane. And it was like, it was a stellar, like, I thought the build-up was so well done. I thought the first 15 were really methodical, And then like once you get past that first 15 feeling out phase, like they were just bomb after bomb after bomb. Like at one point he goes for like a cannonball, like almost in a standing position, and Inamura catches him on his like in his knees, like flipped upside down to like the worst power bomb I've ever seen. I think honestly you should go and out of your way and watch it. I think it was a very, very good match, and I just still can't believe. Like I think we joked about it, but like this is insane. This guy was not wrestled for Noah.
We did joke about it
in like a decade, and he's never been a singles guy, like, and just wins the world title. I think they were saying, I didn't get too far in the podcast, but I don't think this was originally the plan. I just think like he's probably transitional. I'm sure he's going to drop into like Aizawa or something like that.
Oh sure.
But like insane, man. I really hope they run one of these Noah. New Japan, AJPW or whatever joint shows before he drops it, and him and Sabre can either tag together or have a match. I think that'd be really fun.
Oh, that'd be funny.
That would be fun. Yeah. It's not going to happen. But
yeah, probably not. But yeah, I mean, I have been. I mean, when we were joking about it in our group chat, I had mentioned, it was like, yeah, get back to me when it's a Mikey Nichols GHC.
Yeah.
Like, Haste for me, like, I like him a lot, and I think he's a great wrestler. When he is given the opportunity to be, but it's just been sort of a what have you done for me lately kind of thing, and he just quite frankly hasn't been given the opportunity to do much of anything.
Yeah.
In the past year or so, and you can, I think, tell that he has taken an affront to that. I feel like he wants to show people and perhaps show New Japan. It's like, hey, I should not ever be sitting on a shelf for over like a year and a half or something. Yeah, I mean, great for him. It's a super ballsy move from Noah, and I kind of admire that they just decided to say fuck it, let's take a chance on it, even if it's not going to be forever, or if it's not going to make all that big of a difference for us, ticket wise or business wise or whatever. Let's just see how it goes, and probably good for I was not super into the Yoshiki Inamura stuff that I saw. He's a really good wrestler.
Yeah.
I think he is saddled by forces beyond him, because the guy had like 3 excursions or something, when he didn't need to, but like he could still get it done when he's in there with somebody who will bring it out of him. I heard that his Keno title defense was very good, mm-hmm. which but surprise, Keno had a really good GHC title match with somebody. In other news, grass green, sky blue, we'll get back to you at 9. But like yeah, I mean, like the creative for him has not been anything really. The creative for Noah across the board has not really been anything. We joke, and Team 2000X and Ozawa did like a bunch of really good business for them when it first started, but I mean, I don't think anybody truly gives a shit about it now at this point in 2026. Like, I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. Haste feels like slightly better than just like to perfect point of contrast. Okay. The current IWGP Heavyweight Champion is Callum Newman. All right. Callum Newman, who has been with New Japan for quite a while by this point.
Like 3 years.
Has been very active on their roster. And when he won that title, my reaction was apathetic to negative on it. I just don't feel like, whatever. Like he feels like just a guy.
Yeah.
Still. And there's a lot of just a guy foreigners in the Japanese scene at the minute. But Haste, for whatever reason, I think just has this fire in him right now that he feels like slightly more than just a guy right now. And that can change later. He can drop back down. But right now he's got a lot of fire. So
yeah. Did you know that Kenta's group was called the White Raven Squad?
I did, and then I forgot about it, and then I was reminded, when I saw the result from this show.
On Wrestle Universe, they spelled Squad SQWAD.
That's fine.
But
you can spell it that way.
It is funny, like, as high as I was in this match, what a terrible build. You know what the whole build was? Inamura's like, I want to wrestle someone with WWE experience.
That's what I'm talking
That's my
about.
next challenger. And then, of course, who else but Slapjack? Shane Hayes walks out, which is like the funniest.
That's what I'm.
Good.
When I'm talking about Inamura being saddled by forces beyond him, that is exactly what I mean.
Like, come on, man. And it's like a great match. Like, phenomenal. Like, I think they built it so well. And, like, I think the Haste win was, like, a genuine shock. But, like, come on, man. the White Raven shock. That's what we're calling it.
I do also want to say, by the TMDK GHC title win that I was referring to was the second one against the Masato Tanaka Takashi Segura team, not the first one
against Yano.
Yano and Izuka.
I was hoping it was the Yano one. I thought that'd be the funnier option. But yeah, moving on. The only things, I have some indie. Have you still not watched The Hero?
I haven't watched anything from that West Coast
show. Oh my god, dude. It's so good. You know, it's terrible. Adam Priest might win that West Coast World Championship. They had him beat Chaz Starboy Hall and then him beat up the champion after his match. And
look,
DT,
all I'm saying,
the student, he did come out to Dixieland Delight on the show. So
all I'm saying is that DPW put their world title on Adam Priest, and where are they now?
Good point. That's why he'll never touch the Hossland Wrestling Association world title. That can't happen. It can't happen.
He's a jobber in your promotion.
But no, it was the Cinca match was amazing. What else did I watch from that show? It's all just the Cinca matches, a blur. There was a really good match between. There's a main event. It was Johnny Robbie, who's their women's champion, and I think it was.
I like Johnny Robbie.
It was Mio Momono from Marvelous.
Oh yeah, from yeah. She is also, I think, a big Sendai Girls player, because I think she's in the Momo Bobo Banana team.
Yes. But I thought they had a really, really, really good match on this show, like borderline match of the year. I thought the Cinco one was match of the year because Hero is just playing full bully work on this. Like, and it was a 5-minute exhibition, and it ended at 5 with like him pile driving her, and then everyone chanted for 5 more minutes, and he was like, no, and then he ended up coming back out, and he's like, you got it, because he's the booker, so he could do whatever he wants. And then just beat the crap out of Sika for like 4 more minutes and won. It was crazy. And they showed a lot of respect at the end. But like, real good bully match. Oh, that's what it was. There was a match. The Alpha Zoe and Kozone match was...
Oh, shit. That's all. Yeah, I saw that graphic, and I was like, that's going to be really good.
The tried and true case of what wins, kicks or lariats, and this time kicks won. Zoe did beat Kozone, and it's interesting. It feels like this might be like Kozone's last performance for the company, because he came in, he's like, I don't have a company. I was the last DPW. They're putting over DPW pretty big, and he's like, some people gotta earn, you're gonna earn my respect today, like, let's see if you actually are worth your stuff. And he's like, you could be a world champion at any moment, and I'll be here next time you are, with Kozone. And it felt like there was unfinished business, but also at the same time felt like this might be like hey, I'm going off to MLW and I'm not gonna be able to do much more indies thing, with him. Like, I could see them booking him more constantly, but it just depends on his schedule. Hopefully, either he just doesn't have to work a lot of MLW dates, or MLW makes him world champion. One of the two. That's your options. Your game, Gladiators. What do they call them? That's what they call them, Gladiators or something like that?
Oh, God, I forget. Let's go with that. Brought to you by Don Gato, of course.
The Don Gato tequila. The Chev's Eddie match was also really great. A lot of people were liking that.
Need to watch that one too.
A lot of people were liking that better than the Cinca one, and I can see why, as it was a more complete match. And Eddie was truly playing like bully ball, and it was awesome. But I think I like the Cinca one slightly better, just because like I like the chain and the mat wrestling in that one better than like just like really just nasty strikes in the Eddie ones and just sploder suplexes and stuff like that. I think it was a better formulated match for the Eddie one. It was, more traditional one, but I don't know. There was something about like the shock Chris Hero pop and just like him in like basically like a hoodie and shorts and like knee pads.
I know, he came out in classic modern day Chris Hero attire.
Yeah.
The comfiest man in pro wrestling.
It was really funny to watch him come out. And I think that's pretty much it. I didn't get around to the Ku and Bingston match before we got on the show. And then, it's just a whole Sendai girls roundup. But, we talked about it before, but Chihiro Hashimoto is on the tear of a lifetime. And if you aren't tapped into Sendai, then what's wrong with you? Do you hate women? That's what I have to say. She had a...
The Fortune Dream show is finally available to people now, and so we can finally watch that killer three-way, it sounds like.
Good.
With her, Suri, and Saya.
We'll text about where that's available at after the show. I'm sure you'll give me some insight. I've been like... Yeah. There was also like the Stardom 10th anniversary, which I heard it was a really good Suri match on there against I'm blanking out on the name. You may remember, or you may not know anything I'm talking about. I think it comes on the Wrestle Universe later this month. It's like per pay-per-view right now, but I'm not paying $22. Sorry, guys. I just don't believe in that. I'll wait till it becomes free. But let me see if I can find it. Wrestle Universe.
The 15th anniversary?
10th.
I mean?
10th for Marvelous.
Oh, the Marvelous one. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. That's where the West Coast statement came out, where you were like, "Don't do this to me, guys."
Yeah, that was real messed up of them to do the black and white logo statement.
Yeah. So some of this
essentially just for like a shout out for a partner promotion.
The Stardom show is
it's the Spark Rush Explodes match.
Takumi Ira.
Her and Takumi Iroha.
Yeah, Iroha. Yep.
Yeah.
And this show is like somewhat active terrorism because there's a WWE ID Championship match between Starboy Charlie and Titus Alexander, which is funny.
That's a West Coast favor.
That's a West Coast favor. It is funny though because like they refuse to call him not Starboy Charlie on the Indies, even though like he's ID champion and on Evolve as Chaz Starboy Hall. But the more terrorism is that they booked.
Miyu Yamashita versus Senka is on this show?
Yeah, Yamashita versus Senka, but they booked Masha Slamovich, which is terrorism. And I will not forgive them for that, personally.
Damn.
And they also booked Alan Angels on the show for you, Cooper. Who is...
Can't win them all.
What match is freaking... Yamashita's in some type of death match. It's... Oh, she's tagging with Queen Aminata. No! Terrorism.
Yeah, the hardcore
terrorism
tag match. Yeah.
But
yeah, that's rough.
Yeah. So, but the card looks great. Other than that, yeah. Other than obviously the WBID Championship, which is just like a West Coast match. Did we really have to make it the WBID Championship?
Yeah, you don't have to bill it like that.
Yep. Yeah, it goes. It's purchasable until I think the 20th. It comes onto Wrestle Universe 3. So in a couple weeks, I'm sure we'll talk about it. I'm not paying $20 for the pay-per-view when it's free in 2 weeks. No offense. Though I do love Marvelous, except when they're booking terrorists. It is crazy. It's like you expect me to shell out $22 when you literally booked an abuser on this show. Come on, guys. It's not that hard.
Well, it is debatably also Chigusa Nagayo is not an angel.
That's true. I can't even think of the last time Masha's been booked on anything that I've seen. Can you?
I probably that one GCW show that we saw her at.
Maybe. I don't know. She's just gonna be only in Japanese indies from now on, which would be pretty funny.
She's doing the Japan version of whatever Tessa Blanchard's been doing.
Yeah. Let's see about
if I can just hide out here.
Is there anything else you would like to talk about this week other than the Darby stuff?
That is the only thing that I had on my plate. And I don't really want to talk about it too much because we've been talking forever, and we have a whole TNA pay-per-view to review.
Oh,
but,
God.
I do just want to say real quick, the Darby Allin Tommaso Ciampa match is a match of the year.
Certified.
And here's the thing. I don't actually know if it's a match of the year or if they just did a Psycho Driver to the fucking floor.
No, it is a match of the year.
That's why
I
think it is.
Because of his hubris of doing the Psycho Driver, he lost to the Scorpion Deathlock.
I understand. Yes, it does work. But I know me, and I know I have a stupid monkey brain that will just see a move like that and it'll be like, that's a match of the year regardless. So, they could have done some bullshit, some complete whatever fucking Effie versus I don't know, Kikutaru fucking shenanigans, and I would have been totally down for it as long as they did that move. But yeah, that match was fucking phenomenal, and the Brody match was really, really good. Not quite to the level of the Ciampa one before, but it verged on it at points, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And what I picked up is that I think I'm really gonna like this Darby title run. At least the bell to bell for it. I am 100% down to have a speed run essentially of the Orange Cassidy international reign, but with like the world title, and with somebody who is way worse to their own body than Orange Cassidy was. And I think it's really compelling television. And so I am very interested to see how this plays out. Who's eventually going to take that belt off him? Maybe they've announced something for Double or Nothing on Dynamite just now as we've been recording this, but I'm not privy to it yet. So yeah, that's my thoughts on Darbs.
Yep, that Darb, hey, pretty good. I heard the Kevin Knight match from the night is supposedly another possible match of the year. So the Jet.
I'm not surprised. I do need to watch the Knight MJF match. I was really interested in that, and even more so knowing the finish. But
yep. Moving on. Finally, it is time. Are you ready for some wrestling? TNA Wrestling is coming back to where is this held at? The Universal Studios, Florida, for Unbreakable 2005, held in remembrance of all those who have fallen on 9/11/2001. We're holding it on 9/11/2005, and for the Hurricane Katrina and the unbreakable spirit of Americas. You're gonna see the spiral tap. You're gonna see the Coquina clutch. You're gonna see these great gladiators go at it, and you might even see the bounce. My parents probably about to walk in the room and be like, "What's wrong with you?" When that intro package hit, bro, when they said pounce, I lost it. I like audibly chuckled. I was like folding laundry. I was like, I could not believe it. But TNA Unbreakable 2005, a forever one-off TNA show that eventually did get a sequel in 2019. This is crazy to me. This was an interesting time at TNA. I don't know if you were looking up stuff outside of what we were watching, but this was... So they had the Fox deal, and the Fox deal, ended. So this was an awkward era before they were on Spike, and they weren't on Fox, so they were just, live broadcasting the Impact shows on, It wasn't even YouTube. It was, some, media player for your TV or something like that. It was some internet thing. They had no TV deal. And it was after, the whole when they did, pay-per-views every week, where they're still doing monthlies. So this was, a one-off, which is... And it's at a pivotal time, because, again, they don't have a TV deal. And maybe if they didn't have this match that we're going to talk about soon, and, who knows where the trajectory of the company would have gone, This wouldn't got as much buzz as it did, and moved as much numbers. But it is interesting that, they banked all their money on the best part of their division, and it actually worked out, and they never did it again. And, they never did another Unbreakable after this, after, how remembered this show is. It's they didn't do another one until, 2019. You're telling me this wasn't in the rotation of names? We had to get Lethal Lockdown every year, but we couldn't get Unbreakable.
Yeah, we gotta save room for Hardcore Justice.
Hardcore Country. That's what I think of every time I hear Hardcore Justice. But the first match, already mentioned the three...
Terrorism alert?
The Diamonds in the Rough, which is a team of David Young, Elix Skipper, hey, shout out, and Simon Diamond. And who to come out but the 3 Live Crew. The crew is back, baby. If you don't know who the 3 Live Crew is, I wish I was you. That is a team of Ron the Truth Killings. Has he won the title at this point? I think he already has, right?
He had very early.
Very early.
That was a 2002, 2003 thing.
Conan.
But he is already resting on his laurels by this point.
Ron the Truth Killings, Conan, and of course, BD James, the Road Dogg, and BG. Yeah, it is BG James, in the ugliest basketball jersey. I think it was like just a universal one, right?
Neon blue, with BG on the back of it.
It was a TNA,
yeah,
like universal one. But yeah, just
he's got a little bandana on. I think he's got some camo pants. I think.
Yep.
Bad looks all around.
Conan comes out, does a promo. Viva la raza, all that stuff. And then we get on to the match. It goes 4 minutes, and Conan wins with a face buster. And we're out, brother. Send the crowd home happy.
Real lukewarm face buster. I will say, when Conan makes his entrance into the match, he does his little roll through lariat thing, and Skipper matrixes out of it.
That's pretty cool.
That was pretty cool. But Elix Skipper is too good for this match. And I will say also early on, there's a spot in which BG and Ron Killings do a little dance on top of the prone body of, I think, David Young, and they do stereo leg drops to him after the little dance. And I put down in my notes here, Road Dogg catches a vibe and drops a leg.
I'm pretty sure afterwards, like, Road Dogg hanged in the middle rope, just hung his body there and went at the camera or something like that, and I was like, please end my suffering. Yeah, I was like, why did you make me watch this, Cooper? That was my immediate thought. You could have just picked the triple threat. I said, yeah, pick 1 to 2 matches. You're like, we're gonna watch all of Unbreakable. I said, okay.
But then you wouldn't have got to watch Monty Brown.
That is true.
So, there's.
But you could have picked the Unbreakable match and then picked Monty Brown winning the title. That would have been pretty cool. But.
Speaking of Monty Brown, he's right up next.
Oh yeah, he has a segment
because he has a segment where so they get a little video package for him. We see the prior Impact. He had challenged for the NWA Championship for Bound for Glory, and I will say also, by the way, Monty is fitted the fuck up in this little interview that he does. Incredible velvet shirt on.
Yeah.
Oh my god. He rips off said velvet shirt when who else but the brother of BG, Kip James. That is Monty Sop. That is Billy Mr. Ass Gun, for everybody paying attention. He rushes in to save Jeff Jarrett. And then Jeff Hardy comes out to kind of even things up. Nearly swings a chair at Jarrett, but then Kip drags Jarrett out of the way. This is interesting because Kip and Monty are tag partners, and so there's dissension now. Monty wants to go for Jarrett. Kip wants to protect Jarrett for some reason.
Now, you may ask, why in God's name are Kip James and Monty Brown tag partners? And the answer is...
That is a great question.
God knows. I don't know. I have no idea. Apparently, Kip James turned on BG James. Or no, it's not Kip. Yeah, it is.
Was this...
Oh my God, it is Kip and BG James. Are they supposed to be brothers in TNA?
I think so. Yeah, kayfabe. I think they were presented as the James gang. They were the brothers.
Oh my gosh.
But this was, I think, a little bit. I feel like this was before they would re-team up as the Voodoo Kin Mafia. Too.
Levesque!
Yeah, don't you worry.
Hickenbottom. At the Alamo Dome!
One of the best segments in wrestling history that I cannot find. They've scrubbed that off of all of the internet except for OSW Review.
It might come back now that Road Dogg's gone from the company. He might bring it back.
Oh, I hope so. Hey, then we get a
tryout.
We get a Ring of Honor.
Yeah,
match.
they specifically mention Ring of Honor too. They're like, these guys are partners in Ring of Honor.
Today makes a big point of saying the fans have told us that you all appreciate when we bring in the best of independent wrestling, and so that's exactly what we've done here today. And then it cuts to Austin Aries looking like he's about to take a shit in his pants on his ring walk.
And then young baby-faced Roderick Strong coming out.
This is great. Roddy's this era of Roddy Strong. I know that it's not the time period that I'm thinking of, but I just can't help but think of that video of him doing a little dance in front of a green screen background.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
But yeah, I mean, he is a child.
He's such a baby.
God, he can't be any more than like 22 maybe, I think.
I swear that he worked a couple TNA dates and then he no-showed for a Ring of Honor show and they never booked him again or something like that.
That is right. Yes.
Which is base.
I knew that he had been involved in some early TNA stuff through that partnership, but I was like, well, why did they pick up Punk and Joe and all these guys? But they seemingly skipped over Roddy when he's always been great. You see it in this match. I mean, he's one of the best parts of this whole show. But they kept Austin Aries on for however long, and Austin Aries seemed like a bigger prospect at the time too. But I think even in this match, it's real clear who the better guy is. So I was watching this, and there is a great moment where Roddy stuffs a monkey flip attempt from Austin Aries, and then he catches him out of the air for a real quick little drop down backbreaker, real standard backbreaker, and then he just beels him right into the bottom turnbuckle of the nearest corner, and that looked like it's I would not have agreed to do that if I was Austin Aries. This is the first instance of a TNA chant on this show, so I guess the crowd has spoken, obviously for this one. Aries gets the win with a 450 splash, which I did not anticipate. I don't really ever associate a 450 splash with Austin Aries. I mean, obviously they do a long time setting up for the Brainbuster, which is kind of his big signature. He would use the last Chancery later on and a whole bunch of other moves, but I'm pretty basic 450. Roddy Strong better, I guess. But
yeah, I mean, look, Roderick Strong's a better wrestler. Aries, I understand at the time, probably had more charisma. But, it's good this happened this way. Because then Roddy can go on to win the Ring of Honor title and have that illustrious Ring of Honor career and, get NXT out of it and stuff like that. And now eventually AEW. Who knows? If he went to TNA, they may have put the mind virus on him and he would have never been the same. But then moving on.
Yeah, he would have gone vegan.
It's true. Was there any other segment before they had a talking segment before this. Another Monty Brown and Kip James backstage. Now they're geared
with the fucking franchise. Joey Douglas.
True. The franchise.
I had no idea that he was a fucking backstage interviewer in TNA.
And he was just constantly stirring up stuff, bro. He was constantly stirring up.
He's an instigator.
For sure. Monty Brown with the cheetah print trench coat.
Ooh.
With the red tights and the red gloves.
The bright red hand tape. Yeah.
The goat, dude.
It's like not color safe how red they are, by the way. It's too red.
I feel like every wrestler who wears red on the show is like too red. Like AJ's attire in the main event is also like too red.
Yeah. So yeah, they I put down in my notes here. I can't hear Monty over his leopard print jacket. But yeah, then we get into Kip James.
He gave a very funny way of saying pounce. He went pounce. Like he over enunciated the E at the end because he tried to do the pounce, but it did not work out. I thought it was very funny. And then they go on to have their match. Monty's like, it doesn't matter. We're just gonna beat him up. Because Kip James was just doing what he does, what Monty Sop does.
He's overthinking it. We have this match here with Kip James and the alpha male Monty Brown versus a man I've never seen in my life, Apollo, who I believe was billed as being from Puerto Rico.
Yes.
So maybe he was a WWC guy. And normally, apparently, Apollo teams with Sonny Siaki, but Siaki apparently got his neck crushed by a chair, and so he's got a big brace on. He cannot wrestle, but he accompanies down Apollo, and they are joined by who else but little tiny baby Murder Hawk Monster Lance Hoyt.
The jeans.
The jeans, the one singular lower back tattoo.
Yeah. With Hoyt,
the highlights,
with Hoyt on the side,
blonde highlights. Yes, Hoyt. This is funny. This is a funny look for him.
See, I love matches. I love websites like Cage Match because I was like, I've like maybe seen them. I feel like Apollo's like just one of those guys TNA kept trying to get over, and so I was like, I wonder what his other names were. It was Apollo, aka Grand Apollo, aka Nuevo Gran Apollo, a.k.a. Leon Apollo, a.k.a. Apollo El Leon, a.k.a. Elion de Ponce, and then my favorite, Peter the Stripper.
We got to find a Peter the Stripper match.
He was also Leon 2000, so anything, you got 2000 to any...
Man of the future.
He did go to WB Developmental in 2007, so...
yeah, all these guys did.
Yeah. His signature move was a Uranage suplex, so...
All right, yeah. Put that man in All Japan at the time. He'll get over. Hey, Logan,
mm-hmm.
Can you give me a not racist reason why Monty Brown is billed as being from the Serengeti?
No.
Okay, because that's what TNA built.
Yeah, I know. I've heard it 1,000 times.
I don't. Okay. Let's move on. So I have not ever seen an Apollo match, like I said. He gets in there and he tries doing some little corner chop exchanges with Monty. This does not go well, and he tags back in Lance Hoyt pretty much immediately. This whole time, like Monty and James are like blind tagging each other in. So once again, there's more dissension. Monty at one point, Stinger splashes his butt into Hoyt's back. Like it's like a rear view, and a Stinger splash had a baby.
Awesome.
He at one point Monty hits the "Are you not entertained?" Just straight to the camera, which I thought was awesome. That man had just seen 300. Actually, 300 probably didn't come out yet by this time.
Yeah, it's 2005.
So they probably took it from the Alpha Male. Did it come out in 2005?
Well, this is 2005. I don't think 300 came out in 2005.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I might be wrong.
Yeah, I don't think so. Kip accidentally hits Monty off of the apron and gets super kicked by Apollo. Monty rushes in, saves him from more, and hits the pounce! Apollo for the win.
Two things. 300 didn't come out to 2006, but you're thinking of Gladiator. Which did come out in 2001. Yes. Come on, there ain't no way Monty Brown came up with that. No offense to my boy Monty, but I'm like, there's no way. There's no way he came up with that a year before. Great audio.
This is my favorite episode of the show. We get into the first of many Team Canada segments.
Yes! Yes!
Scott D'Amore, God bless you.
He isn't even in this segment.
He's not. I don't even know that. No, he was managing them by this time, I think, because they show him in one of the video packages. But little Petey Pump, tries hyping up Eric Young, and I wrote down in my notes some guy
A1
who
brother
turned out to be A1.
You don't remember A1? Come on, bro.
Who the fuck? Who's A1? Tell me all about A1, Logan.
Well, don't ask me that. You don't remember A1? That's A1, brother. That's the wall, dude. I don't know what you want me to say. That's A1. They bring out the A1 steak sauce whenever he's there, dude. Like, that's A1. There's like so many of these guys. It's like so early TNA. It's like first couple years where you just got wrestlers who are just like full NWA Wild style gimmicks who like none of it makes sense. But like his name's A1. He's Canadian. That's all I need to know. He's teaming up with...
He's the most American-looking Canadian I've ever seen.
He's teaming up with Eric Young. So Eric Young is the charisma. A1 is there for muscles, you know?
Yep. Eric is worried because the ref is American.
That is true. That is true. Eric Young is the best, man. I don't know what to tell you.
Bobby Roode says that Jeff Hardy is next on his list to be Canadianized.
So good.
And yes, little Petey Pump calls out Chris Sabin, and he hypes up the Canadian Destroyer, which I would too if I invented that fucking move. So,
you're gonna hit the Canadian Destroyer. Which.
So then we get into it.
But it wasn't supposed to be him versus... It's supposed to be him versus... God. It was his tag team in the Candido Cup. And they called him something that sounded racist. Sabin. So Sabin had let me look this up. You keep...
I know that Shelley's Candido Cup stuff comes up later.
You keep talking and I'll look this up.
Okay, so classic TNA bit here. Petey Williams comes out to Abyss's theme for like a solid at least 20 seconds. At least 20 seconds of Abyss. The crowd goes nuts, and they see Petey Williams, and they're like, oh, okay. And and you know it's a fuck up because then they play like 2 seconds of O Canada. And then... Who else should come out but a pre-Motor City Machine Guns? Not even that. A pre... what was their thing with Nash?
Oh, yeah. I forget what that was called. But
Private Investigators or something. But yeah, a pre any of that, Chris Sabin. And boy, does he look like shit. He looks awful. Trunks, long hair, chin strap, beard.
Looking crazy, God. Man. Him and Petey in this match is like the funniest two white guys you could put in an X Division match, like looks wise.
Yeah.
No, this was supposed to be. So they had the Candido Cup, which comes into play later in the episode, and the whole gimmick was it was one veteran and one rookie, and so it was. This match originally was supposed to be two partners face each other, which would have been Sabin and Shocker, which they say the Mexican Shocker.
I was about to say Shocker, like
yes, like CMLL,
100% Guapo Shopper.
Yes,
Shocker. Yeah,
he was his tag partner, but due to like booking in CMLL, he couldn't come to the show, and they say that on commentary, and so they put in Petey, little Petey Pump.
All right. Yeah, Doc. Wow. All right. I would have loved to have seen that. Shocker was really great.
I know. Yeah.
He was on a roll. He was like, I think, heavyweight champion.
But they call him the Mexican Shocker, and I was like, that's not right.
Oh,
that's what they call him on commentary. I was like, that's not right. I said, that can't be true. I was like, no, not you, Don. No.
I know. Yeah, you can.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. You know, Mike Tenay's little CMLL AAA Love and Ass was just like baring his teeth the whole time. But all right, so we get into this here, and of course these are like the two flippy small guys, not the big names in the X Division yet, but they're good to get the crowd hyped up. Although they pipe in crowd noise pretty obviously here, and it was really annoying. I don't think they needed it, but so Sabin does some like fancy rolls out of a wrist lock. They both get like pretty snappy with back and forth kind of like arm drags. Then Williams is like on the outside, and Sabin like rolls backwards through the ropes, and he catches Williams's head with his legs, and then like flings himself around to like reverse Hurricane Rama. It was the most overly complicated way to do a Hurricane Rama that like I've maybe ever seen. They're back inside. PD gets Sabin up at the Tree of Woe and stomps on his dick for a little bit. There's some Chad in the crowd who does some like Bruiser Brody like Hoss chants, and it really annoys Petey Williams. He like the crowd is like fully paying attention to this random fan, and so Sabin gets back on a roll with he's got some forearms, some chop exchanges, more kicks. PD calls for the Canadian Destroyer, but it gets reversed and reversed and reversed. But he does eventually land in a sharpshooter that Sabin manages to crawl out of. Let's see. Williams at one point gets trapped in the turnbuckles. Like he's kind of like in seated position facing towards the crowd with his arms and legs draped over the ropes. Sabin rushes over, grabs him, and fucking razor's edges him into the opposite corner. Rams his head into the turnbuckle like in a fireman's carry position. He's like jamming Petey Williams like into this corner, and turns him around, gets him in cradle shock position. Boom, drops him 1-2. And then
that's not the finish, is it?
Yeah, it is. He the cradle shock, and he wins.
But if I remember correctly, he goes for the cradle shock. Petey rakes the eyes.
Yeah.
Is that what you said, or did I just blank out? He rakes the eyes.
I skipped the part where he rakes the eyes.
Okay, well, he rakes the eye. It was an important part because he rakes the eyes. Then Sabin grabs the ref to put him in the cradle shock. and then the ref gets out of it.
Yeah, he does.
And then Petey sets up for the Destroyer and takes enough time to taunt, and he goes, Destroyer! And then Saban's like, oh, that's Petey. And he puts him in the cradle shock and then hits him for the 1-2-3. It was like the funniest workaround to a finish ever. It's like, all right, man.
I thought the ref one was
the
stupid.
Ref one was stupid. I just loved Petey setting him up for the Destroyer and like knowing he's blinded, like trying to take his time doing it instead of just like walking straight into a cradle shock. I thought was a pretty funny bit of like how, stupid Team Canada is. But keep going.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately,
oh God, who did return?
Little ratty Chris Sabin doesn't get to celebrate long because he is interrupted by the returning Matt Bentley.
I just like
clap, get into it.
I saw this and like I'm like trying to rack my mind if I can remember who Matt Bentley is, brother.
Dude, commentary was freaking out. They said, "What the hell is Matt Bentley doing at Unbreakable?"
Bro, he created the Ultimate X match. He made that moment.
He did. He cuts a I couldn't get hired in Connecticut, so TNA is my home babyface promo. I guess he was like maybe in contract negotiations and stuff, but it fell through. He super kicks Sabin, and then super kicks Williams too. So he's like a cool tweener, I guess. I don't know.
I love he super kicks Sabin, right, and then like Williams down. Williams gets up and like goes for the handshake, and then he super kicks him.
Yeah, he tries to get on his good side.
Which I thought was pretty funny. I thought it was a good rub. Yeah.
We get an Abyss and Father James Mitchell video package. James Mitchell, the Sinister Minister. He makes it clear that Abyss is going to run on a rampage until he gets a title shot, and we see the only man to stand in his way, the homicidal, suicidal, genocidal, which, hey, that's fucked up, Sabu. Don't do that. It's Sabu.
Come on, man.
The Abyss mask, by the way, I just want to put this out. Such a great design. What a great way to hide how funny Chris Park's face is, because like literally if you show any bit of that guy's face, he is goofy, but Abyss looks cool. We get into this match. We get a zoom in on a big Abyss sucks sign. So the crowd is really anti-Abyss here. James Mitchell cuts a promo on Sabu in the ring and makes the match no DQ on the spot. And then Sabu lights go down, right? And they come back up, and Sabu is there. He just appears in the middle of the ring, and we get a short little burst of the whatever Hookah Blues ripoff Dale Oliver has cooked up, but only like 2 seconds of it. Uncharacteristically, Sabu does not try to shoot double leg Abyss.
Yeah.
To start this match, he starts like trying to punch him, out, and he gets whacked in the chest by a knife edge chop thrown around with a belly to belly, and then very quickly chairs come into play. Sabu grabs it, does his little leg drop, chair drop onto Abyss. Sets up for a launching clothesline to send him and Abyss to the outside, and they immediately go over the tables. Sabu's slopes down. It's like, I think it like fucking breaks on him. And Abyss gets his one up. We get a pretty like you could tell like Young Bucks inspired, or a move that would inspire Young Bucks, I think, where Sabu has set up the chair in the ring, leaps onto the top rope, jumps off into a spinning DDT. It looks like something that, you would see Nick Jackson just like pull out of his ass on like a random Wednesday night. Abyss is dangling between the ropes. He traps Sabu by grabbing him as he goes to run up, and then just beels it over his head, crashing through the tables that they set up below. The crowd chants, "We want thumbtacks," pretty much the whole time. And we get some horrific chair shots to Abyss's head. Sabu leg drops the chair off of the top rope through a table directly on top of Abyss's head. And then we do eventually get those thumbtacks that the crowd was chanting about. Abyss lifts up Sabu to chokeslam him, but he fights out of it. He fights out of a powerbomb attempt. Gets a real quick little chair shot defense in, and leaps off of the chair, but into Abyss's waiting arms. He throws him around, black hole slam right into the tacks, and you get a big bunch of them, like right around like Sabu's kind of like upper shoulder area.
Mean black hole slam too.
Oh yeah. Abyss also, by the way, so when he hits the black hole slam, he has to slam his hands down too, and he gets like a couple of tacks in his hand, and you could tell it's really bugging him. Yeah, because he's like picking at it the whole time. But yeah, so the black hole slam into the tacks gets the 3, but Abyss has to still, get a little bit of metal out of his system. So then another franchise interview with Alex Shelley this time. And then we get some more background on the Candido Cup, or the Candido Invitational, I think. Mm-hmm. And how this was... No, it is the Cup.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how this sets up the tag title match later on tonight. Because Shelley teamed up with who else but X-Pac.
Sean Waltman. And he has no show.
Yes. Do you know exactly why he no-showed? Because I have a theory.
I looked up as much as I could. I'm going to hear your theory before I say anything, because I wasn't 100% sure, and I don't want to spoil what you're going to say.
I have not looked up if the timelines match. But was this when WWE brought in the NWO?
I feel like that's after.
Okay.
That would be funny, though.
Well, they might... That would be very funny. And if they called him up and they were like, hey, you drop this TNA gimmick, and we'll get you in the new NWO. I thought that would maybe be pretty funny, but that's probably not right.
No, I mean that was early 2000s. Whenever it was 2002. So what I saw was there's literally never been it's never been disclosed why he wasn't. Some people say, and this may be another TNA thing, that he also no-showed. So, history of these things. But that reportedly he got there after the fans in the arena, and they were like, "We're not booking you, brother." He said, "You got here late. You're not on the show." And he was on a couple months later. He was back or whatever, or a month or so. Yeah. But yeah, he didn't show up for this, and they really buried him for wow.
Oh yeah,
dude, you must hate Chris Candido and his family, for not showing up. You bum.
Well, we know that Sean Waltman is unpredictable, but even by his standards,
this is a new low.
is a low.
I did look up some your favorite wrestler, Mr. Matt Bentley. I hope I'm saying that right. Apparently,
Matt.
Yeah, because I was I want to see what he did after TNA. He left TNA in 2007 because his contract lapsed and they did not renew it. Bro, they did not renew the TNA contract. Oh God.
Get into
and it says semi-retirement. It said on 2008 he made a appearance on SmackDown in a squash match, leading to the debuting Vladimir Kozlov. And it says following his WWE appearance, Bentley temporarily left wrestling in order to create a band named Lost in Chaos with his friends. They are currently located in Orlando and participating in numerous gigs. The band was nominated for Florida's Best Band on a local rock station website in 2009. I need to know if they're still playing, and we have to go see them. That's like the funniest outcome.
Oh my god.
He then made like 2 more.
You gotta get the CD, bro. Yeah. You gotta review it.
He made like 3 more TNA appearances sporadic. He made one in 2011 where like if he won the match, he got a TNA contract. He lost. He appeared on one of the one night only shows. That was the Extravaganza, which was all the X Division things, and an Escape match. And then he appeared in Global Force Wrestling, in 2015. That's the dude's career. That's on Wikipedia at least. Let me look up his cage match. See if he has it. See if the bro's still active. Maybe we can get him into Hossland.
That brother's last match was against Jinder Mahal in Global Force or something.
He'd be lucky to wrestle Jinder. I'm gonna be honest. It's probably some random Florida indie if I had to guess.
Oh sure.
All right, continuing on.
Yes, continuing on to a very boring match, I thought. Bobby Roode versus Jeff Hardy. A really funny line from Don West here during Roode's entrance where he says, and I quote, "Bobby Roode is somebody we know is going to have a singles run one day." Sure, man. We do get the modest
top
to the top
modest
Jeff Hardy entrance. Shout out Parox YGen. Speaking of wrestler bands, unfortunately, this is before Jeff Hardy had to quote Twitter more motion than Obama. So I think this match is probably going to be shit. As I think most Jeff Hardy matches are. And I was kind of right, I think. This match was kind of stinky. So we start things off. Roode cuts off the Whisper in the Wind pretty early on by just kind of like yanking Jeff down. I thought that was pretty fun. Roode, at one point, he's got Hardy down in the corner. He's choking him out, and he yells right in his face, "Who's the greatest?" And I put down here, a young Joe Anawahi takes notes. He jaw jacks with the crowd a lot, but he's pretty firmly in control here. And then the most exciting thing to happen in this match. Well, actually, no. The second most exciting thing to happen in this match. Lil Petey Pump comes back out with the hockey stick flag, and he pokes Jeff Hardy in the ass. And Roode goes up to the top, belly to bellies Hardy from off the top rope. Tries and fails to use the hockey stick flag, and he gets twist-faded for his troubles. And then the real most exciting part of this match. Who else should come out?
My world. You ain't dead. You ain't The Rock.
Double J. Jeff Jarrett comes out, whacks Hardy with
like
the hockey
5
stick.
Times.
Yes. I have my in my notes Bree Woo for every single whap that Jeff Hardy got. Roode steals the win. Boring match. Bree Woo was the best part. And that's about all.
I forgot that Hardy was in TNA at this point. Like, this kind of surprises me. Which he's not.
Hardy has more TNA runs than you think.
Yeah, but he's not in for long because he's back in the company by like 08 with the Fed. He won a title in 08 or 09, so he has to be there at like 6 or 7? Well.
So I think his first run was in like 2002 with TNA, I think. And that was really like, I think he like cut his hair a little bit. It had a whole sort of different look going on. Then he is inactive for quite a while. Has this brief little spurt here in 2005 where he's pushed up to the title picture more. Goes back to the Fed, wins the title, leaves the Fed, goes back in, I want to say, like 2010, maybe 2010, 2011. Yeah. And that's when he's got like kind of the short hair thing. He climbs up the cage, like the domed cage that they have. He just like sits on it. And he stays there for a while and then that's when you get like the Victory Road incident, like the title run that he has there. All that is during that big chunk of time. And it isn't really until the Hardys return at WrestleMania that he gets back in. Until then, so he has more time in TNA than you think he does.
Yeah, I just looked it up. It was 04 to 06, then 10 to 17, then 2024 onwards. Hey, and we saw him when he was in AEW, brother. Yeah,
that we did, and I saw him when he was in TNA the second time, I think, too.
The memorable run,
one of the Orlando tapings,
which is crazy. He that whole like run included like stuff that like again like the whole I agree the Victory Road match, and he stuck around for so long to eventually do the Broken stuff is all like a 7-year, you know.
We get a package for this tag match. So the incredible team of Cowboy James Storm, Wildcat Chris Harris,
Most Wanted.
America's Most Wanted, the most Noah Phillips coded tag team I've maybe ever seen.
They're awesome, man.
They're good. America's Most Wanted do not like the Naturals,
who are the champs.
Who are the champs, and who are also men I've never heard of.
Me neither.
They are managed by Jimmy
Not
Hart.
the South.
And they look like shit. They look awful. But so America's Most Wanted, the Naturals, they don't like each other, but they don't like Team Canada more. So they try to unite for Sacrifice. Sacrifice comes, this alliance blows up pretty quickly. And who else but TNA General Manager Larry Zbyszko has to set up this four-way between America's Most Wanted, the Naturals, Team Canada, and the winners of the Candido Cup to finally settle things once and for all. I did have some notes here about the franchise interview with the Naturals and Jimmy Hart that got interrupted by America's Most Wanted, but pretty much all that I had here was who let Braden Walker try to talk. And also James Storm lets out a very quiet sorry about your damn luck at the end. So then we get into the match. Team Canada is comprised of Eric Young and
A1. We're going to do an A1 deep dive next week, guys. Don't worry.
We better. The people are dying to know about A1. Alex Shelley comes out alone, and Storm comes out with America's Most Wanted, rocking the chin strap beard. It was real popular at the time between Sabin, Storm. All these TNA guys, for whatever reason, just thought that they could get away with not having any upper hair.
Well, you gotta factor in it's 2005, and like even WB, I don't think they have like the best facial hair people right now. They got like Kevin Thorne on that roster, you know, like.
Yeah, but like Kevin Thorne's like trying to do something with his, you know. Like he's like that's a look that he's going for.
The chin strap is the look they're going for, brother.
I don't know that I don't think James Storm thinks that hard about his look.
Sorry about your damn facial hair.
Yes. The Naturals are two dudes. One is named Andy Douglas. The other is named Chase Stevens. They look like shit,
champions?
like I said, but they're champions. They are NWA.
You have the option of the greatest team between Eric Young and A1, America's Most Wanted, and Alex Shelley, and you can put on any of those three teams just Alex Shelley. You could put the title on him.
Yes. Yes.
This match was interesting. So Shelley doesn't have a partner because Sean Waltman decided to not show up. And so I looked this up on Cage Match beforehand, and I saw who Shelley's partner was going to be, and I was like, oh, this is interesting. Anyway, Shelley wrestles alone. No one to tag to. And nobody else is letting him tag out because why would you? Advantage. So he's just getting, destroyed by every team. Finally, at ringside, Chris Candido's family are watching this, and they're watching the cup winner. And I think it was Alex Candido, right? Johnny Candido gets up on the apron. He says, "Tag me."
He's seen all he can stand, and he can't stand no more.
Tag me. So Johnny Candido is tagged in civilian uniform, starts wrestling, and immediately gets pinned by Eric Young after I think a low blow. 1, 2, 3, and Alex Shelley and Johnny Candido are eliminated within the first 4 minutes.
Sorry about your dead brother, Johnny.
I'm sorry about your dead brother.
We're gonna pin you in 1 second.
Yeah, it's like, why would you do this for them just to pin him? And they're like, and then the commentary's like, well, it's good of him for him to tag in, And I'm like, what? I'm like, Shelley was doing better on his own.
Look, these pull somebody from the crowd bits never go well because you have to let them win, especially if they're the brother of a dead wrestler. But he's not a professionally trained wrestler, I don't think. So yeah, sure, let's not let him win the title. That makes sense. But it was it's like if at that one WrestleMania where Braun Strowman picked out the 10-year-old from the crowd, if Sheamus just bro kicked that 10-year-old
and pinned him
and just pinned him, and it's I will say after that, things get pretty boring pretty quick. Team Canada eliminates America's Most Wanted, and then stand between the Naturals and Team Canada, and the Naturals win and retain. So,
the only thing I have to say about this match is there was a good last call, and Eric Young sold it like death, and I thought that was pretty cool, and that's it.
We get a Rhino franchise interview, where Rhino calls out the ass kissers and Hollywood bitches who tried to tell him how to show emotion in the ring. That's an oddly specific gripe to have.
Pop off,
sounds
Rhino.
like sounds like a Rhino problem. He says that Raven has what he's always wanted, but he says he has one word for Raven: pain. Which you would think that he would say gore, but whatever. So we get into this match. Rhino sprints down to the ring, and I will say this: I have always really loved Rhino's look.
Yeah,
I think he looks awesome. I think his gore is great. It's all the other stuff about Rhino that maybe needs some work. Raven comes out. He's wheeling down a shopping cart full of bullshit to the ring. And by a shopping cart full of bullshit, I mean literally like, yeah, he's got like the kendo sticks and the trash cans and all that stuff, but like he's also got like just a hockey mask, like just a and like I think a phone book or something. Like he throws a bunch of stuff at Rhino like really early on, where he's just like picking it up and chucking it at him, and like all that stuff. I can't really tell what that is, but he's got some nunchucks in there for some reason. They both grab some kendo sticks and they threaten to do a little, lightsaber fight. They're kind of dancing around each other, but Raven just pokes Rhino with it. Shoves a crutch in Rhino's face up in the corner. Raven grabs a pizza cutter pretty quick. That was kind of like his signature thing around this time. And he slices up Rhino Nick Gage style with the pizza cutter. Gets a good splash of blood on him, like up on his forehead. And Rhino then grabs a beer keg by the commentary table. The obligatory TNA commentary beer keg. And hurls it at Raven, but it just hits the post, which leaves Rhino open for a kendo stick directly to the head.
Hey, that's a Singapore cane, brother.
The Singapore cane. Yes, my bad.
Easy no. Hardcore justice. Hardcore justice. Hardcore justice.
Hardcore justice. This is good audio. Raven. Then he tries some actual wrestling with an ankle lock. But what a fool. He doesn't grapevine it, so it's useless. And Rhino easily crawls to the ropes. He takes a trash can from the audience. At one point, Rhino does. And he gets it stomped on Raven's face. Rhino at one point staples Raven with his own staple gun. I think he like lariats his face into a chair. At one point, some dude named Cassidy Riley, great era for just guys named things in TNA. You can just be a guy and just have a name. Matt Bentley, Andy Douglas, A1. Cassidy Riley comes out. Cassidy Riley is apparently a worshiper of Raven. He's in the flock, and he tries to distract the ref, but it works too well, and Raven lays on Rhino for like a 7 count. He power bombs Rhino through a ladder. Jarrett Brewu comes in once again to try to interfere and smack Raven with, I think, the guitar. Yeah. But who should come out to stop him? But modest to the top, Jeff Hardy. Raven catches Rhino with the even flow DDT.
That's the Raven effect, brother.
The Raven effect DDT.
Come on, man.
Clap, get into it. That's your NWA Heavyweight Championship match. You gotta stop.
What are you talking about?
For those not watching the video feed, Logan is currently throwing gang signs.
I'm doing the Jeff Hardy. Come on.
He's doing the Jeff Hardy dance.
What is it? This is the is this the V1?
That's the V1 that you got.
Yeah, right yeah. This is the
and then the finger gun. But wow, you're real extreme, Logan Christian. All right, so we get a little video package from Triple Threat. Not too much story that I gather from this. Yeah, now we're in it. Basically, all you need to know here is that Christopher Daniels has had this title for like half a year, and Samoa Joe is fucking awesome, and AJ Styles is fucking awesome. And they hate Christopher Daniels, so they're gonna
beat his ass.
They're gonna beat his ass,
dude. It's awesome. Yeah. I thought the video package was very good because Daniels and AJ had matches. I think there was one where like Daniels got him in a submission. It was like choking him out while the blood was squirting in the package. I thought was awesome.
Yes.
And then Joe's undefeated. I think it's his first X Division title shot. Might be.
Oh yeah, I think that is right.
Because he's recently brought up from Ring of Honor. He had that Ring of Honor run from 2002, 2004, and AJ got in because Daniel screwed him out of like him winning the tournament and helped Joe win, and so that's how we set up our thing here. First out is Samoa Joe, looking like the coolest man to ever live.
Comes out in black and white. A very rare combination.
Lean Joe. This is like, there's not a point where he's like super skinny or anything like that, but like comparatively to now, he's not.
Yeah, he's always. He's
been a young
boy.
man. He's a young boy, man. Yeah. Like he doesn't have like the cultivated mass he has now. It looks like a hulking monster. He's more of just like the beef. Yeah. And then, who to come out?
Get ready to thunder.
Peeking out of that hoodie, that super red hoodie with the puka shell necklace,
the not color safe,
with the shark tooth necklace and the short.
I put down in my notes here, AJ Styles comes out through the sparks like a southern fried angel. Is what he looks like.
That's a good way to describe it.
Incredible that this man was incredibly homophobic at this time. But
probably up there with, in this show at least, the most homoerotic looking guy on the roster. Some would say.
I mean,
the gay community.
Look, AJ. You gotta chill out, AJ. It's fine. That man took one look at a Tony Storm video promo, and he was like, "Sign me another
Make
deal,
me
Paul."
a coach, Paul."
Yeah. But seriously, he is also probably the greatest to ever do it.
It's like it's brutal how good he is, especially in this match.
Right now, on this night, there is maybe not a better wrestler in the world. So Christopher Daniels comes out to his Marilyn Manson "Beautiful People" ripoff,
doing the fingers and
yes. Hey, dude, this is a deep memory from little like, oh God, I must have been like 10 years old, like the first time I saw Fallen Angel Christopher Daniels, and I thought that the Fallen Angel was like the coolest fucking gimmick that anybody had ever come up with in professional wrestling. I thought like he was like better than the Undertaker, and, like all that shit.
He was the higher power,
which I was right, and not the way that I thought. So this match starts off hot right off the gate. Styles and Joe immediately gang up on Daniels. AJ says that he's going to show Joe how to kick Daniels in the back. They take turns just wailing on him. These kicks are like shotguns blast throughout the impact zone. Daniels stands up. He's yelling at him like, "Hey, stop fucking kicking me!" And he gets kicked in the chest for his trouble. AJ goes for Joe now, but Joe immediately starts rolling him down to the ground and almost gets a Ring of Saturn on him before Daniels breaks it up. Joe gets Daniels and Styles in the corner. Daniels thinks that he can bulldog AJ, but AJ like pushes him off right into a waiting Samoa Joe.
Yeah,
boom! Fuck you, Daniels. AJ leaps into Joe's waiting arms to get belly to bellied. Daniels gets Joe on the outside and hits this like crazy momentum springboard moonsault. And he brawls with Joe a little bit on the outside, and then this is the spot of the match. As they're brawling, who you see way in the background, AJ Styles running up jumps up on the top rope, springboard, shooting star press onto the both of them.
I've probably seen it like 1,000 times, but it still is awesome every time. What's crazy is like it's not even my favorite like tope spot from this match.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing. But it's like the first.
It's the first
one.
Like, oh baby, we're cooking.
And the crowd. It's the moment the crowd goes like, oh
yeah,
shit. This is Now we're in it. AJ gets Joe in the ring and makes him run the ropes before whacking him with like an Okada-esque drop kick.
Dude.
Everything AJ does at this point is just so crisp, and I don't know how he possibly could have picked that up from working WCW dark matches and NWA Wildside at this time. Like, you know, he had his ROH stuff too, so that, you know, that'll sharpen you up a little bit. And NWA actually did have some good stuff in that little Georgia setting that they had. So, but let's see. I'm not gonna go for like spot for spot on here because there's so many of them. Yeah, but the big one. AJ and Daniels are kind of running around each other on the outside. They're dodging each other's apron moonsaults, and they're too distracted to see the other great tope spot in this match, and this might be the one that you're thinking of, where Samoa fucking Joe runs up and hits a corkscrew onto the both.
It just crushes them both.
Yes. That was insane.
There's another point.
And
there's another point where Joe starts like unloading on Daniels, like open hand slaps to him, and it's just awesome.
Yeah, I love pretty much all the strike exchanges between all three of them. Like, Joe initiates a lot, but like Daniels gives it, Styles gives it. It is like real go for broke kind of shit. Like, you know, this match obviously is incredibly fucking influential. Like, you watch any PWG match, really in history, and it's all this. Like, you know, it's all people trying to emulate this, and they get close at times, but man, like, it really is different when it's these three guys, and you know, it feels so uncomplicated in a way that I think everybody else tries to complicate.
Like, I don't know, I think Daniel's just the perfect foil for AJ and Joe.
Yes, that's the thing that struck me the most, is how much I think Daniels has gone so underappreciated in this match. I mean, everybody knows, like, this is the TNA triple threat, right? It's the only 5-star match in TNA history. It's got Joe, Daniels, Styles, but everybody always talks about Joe and Styles.
Yeah.
But Christopher Daniels is a fucking pro's pro.
33-year veteran, or 33-year-old veteran in this match, which is crazy to say because he wrestles for like another 20 years after this. The thing, you know, I've seen this before, obviously. I think if you're a wrestling fan and you haven't seen this match, then you need to broaden your horizons. You need to watch this and watch so much other stuff. But
you need to learn you something.
The thing that I forgot that like popped me so big was like later on in the match, probably like 17 minutes in, because it was like a 22-minute match, and Styles puts Joe in the torture rack. Dude!
Yes. I was about to get to that.
I was like, that's so insane. He racks him for like a solid like 20 seconds too.
Yes.
And like I was like, I knew it was the finish, but I was like, this might be the finish. I was like, holy crap! And he slams him down. I'm like, how do you not win out of that? How do you rack a 280-pound man like that? And like he looked like he had him for longer too. It was insane. I could not believe my eyes.
Yeah, that was nuts. I like I never think of AJ as being like a particularly like strong guy, but man, like that moment.
That's what I was saying. You see him as such like a striker or a grappler. You know, obviously higher flyer. Yeah. Like, you never see him as, like, a super strength. And, like, I've seen him get people in that position before, like Cody. So I thought, like, maybe it was, like, a burning hammer that I didn't remember or some type of... I would have never in a million years thought, yeah, he's about to pick up Samoa Joe and put him in a torture rack. And Joe, like, selling it, too. Like, straight up. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he wrenches him into it. He's, like, got him by the neck and all that, so... and that comes right after... Joe, he gets his great combination offense in, man. Like, and Tenay makes a big point about it. You know, like, I imagine like seeing Samoa Joe for the first time, like around this time, if you hadn't been paying attention to Ring of Honor, right? If you were just like a casual fan who, you know, wanted to watch something that wasn't WWE, and TNA was the most accessible option at that time. And you see Samoa Joe hit that power bomb right into an STF.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like it must have felt like how folks feel watching like Zack Sabre Jr. or something, you know. Like, it's like, whoa, he's so like just fast and like can get your body into position so quickly. And it's a part of his game that, you know, obviously has been kind of like de-emphasized now as he's gotten older, and you know, now so much of his stuff is you know, just overwhelming power based. But like that submission stuff, it was like largely what I think sort of like brought him to the dance
for sure,
and what TNA especially wanted to focus on with him. But yeah, so AJ like rolls around with Daniels a little bit, hits the Styles Clash on it, but Joe breaks up the pin, and then Daniels and Styles get up. They exchange strikes. Daniels gets him in Angel's Wings position, and is like sure he's got him, and then AJ just throws him back, and it's like almost sort of a like accidental deadbolt, and he flash pins him to win the X Division Championship.
5-time.
Yes, this is his 5th run, and man, like what can be said that has?
What's crazy is his 5th run. The company's around for 3 years.
yeah. Well,
he's a double.
Was he the first?
I think he was, and he's a double Triple Crown. He had already won the world title at this point twice.
Yeah.
I mean,
they rightfully, you know, saw like that. This is
that's
guy.
like the most insane thing I think for me is rewatching this, like how good Styles is. Where like this is like one of the best wrestlers. This is the best wrestler in the world, and that TNA. It's like the same thing as the New Day. It's like he wasn't asking for more money. He was just asking for the same money. And you guys tried to shortchange him. He may still be in TNA. He may have retired in TNA if they just kept giving him small increases in money. You know, he may never jump ship because he's such a loyal guy. But you guys pissed away like top 5, top 3 wrestler of his generation. You know, one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. Because you wanted to cut his salary in half. I will never understand that. Like, cut Hogan's salary, brother. You don't cut AJ's. Like, crazy. I mean, I'm glad they did. We wouldn't have gotten him in New Japan if not. But like,
yeah. I mean, yeah, it is definitely kind of a cautionary tale with really all 3 of these guys, and their histories with TNA. I mean, none of them got served well in the long run from that company. Joe was such a like dynamic monster at the time, and they treat him real well for like, you know, a good little while there. Like I think like maybe like 2-3 years where Samoa Joe in TNA is still pretty unbeatable. But then like, man, you know, even before like the Nation of Violence thing, where they do this whole stupid rebrand with him, you know, it becomes very clear very quickly that they do not see him as a top guy for them. And I don't know why that is. I guess, I don't know, you have to push Mick Foley as your champ in 2008. But yeah, like Joe was constantly kind of underutilized. Daniels, I think, was never really in a position where, you know, like it's tough to say because I think he is so great and it is so undersung in this, not only this match but in his TNA career in general, in his career in general. I mean, Christopher Daniels is like, if you're an independent wrestler in 2026, like Christopher Daniels is probably the reason why you have a career. But you know, like, but the kind of wrestler that he is, not as blow your mind flashy like AJ, right? Not you know, dynamic, like genre defying kind of crossover dude like Joe. Daniels is very much of kind of like, you know, the old school, and because he's been around during the wave of independent wrestling before, you know, the acquisition and the real dark times. And so Daniels is wrestling, you know, early in his career in front of truly crowds that do not give a shit. And so he's developed this skill set that's so unique to him. And so many of the matches that really make these guys in the X division, they don't work if you don't have him there. And, you know, like, he's happy to I'm happy that him and Kazarian you know, got to tag so much and had a really good run through that. But man, like, I think it's a real shame that and even like Ring of Honor, like, why did his first Ring of Honor title run come in 2017? Like,
what are we doing? Yeah,
you know, yeah, but TNA was such a disaster class of a promotion that they had really, and like we saw earlier in the show, Roderick Strong versus Austin Aries. Like, I'm sure, whatever, Roddy didn't want to show up for TNA or whatever. That's fine. But if I was just like a passive observer and I saw that that's like, you know, the second match on this card, I'm signing that guy immediately and I'm tying him down.
Yeah.
And I'm saying I'm gonna push you to the fucking moon. You know, they really just truly did not know what they had. Constantly tried to swing for people who did not ever give a fuck about them and never would, no matter what. Hogan, Bischoff, like, these guys don't care about you.
Also, like, taking every WWE release, no matter what. Like, the thing is, and like making those guys bigger than, like, having Val Venus in 2009 beat Christopher Daniels on pay-per-view. Like, the people who cared and that brought fans in and brought eyes with their work rate, which is always typically what made TNA stand out, is just like, we'd let these guys go and it'd be insane, and you'd have like that back catalog and stuff like that. Like, they were just treated like dirt half the time. They were like, well, you're here, you're not going to leave, so like, we don't have to treat you well. We're going to give all the big money to Hulk Hogan, who can't wrestle, to Mick Foley, to, Eric Bischoff, to Kevin Nash. Like, a lot of these guys who aren't going to, like, yes, they are maybe draws, but, like, they don't draw in this type of fan base. You're trying to completely, like, you have to, from the ground up, kill everyone who's already interested in your product and then rebuild versus just, like, building on the foundation you already have. And that was TNA's fault. They always did that. They would always, they pick the next big shiny toy versus the toy that they have, so.
Yeah. Which is why, I think a really kind of like heartening to end things on a positive note on an episode that's been very, very dour for so much of it. I'm so glad that all three of these guys have gotten more praise and love in the and truly like appreciation for their whole careers in the past like 5 years than they ever had for the preceding 20.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like Daniels, now an incredibly respected integral part of backstage at AEW, trained so many people and has helped so many people in his role there. Joe, similarly, like anybody who doesn't respect Samoa Joe is a fucking moron who needs to get out of the professional wrestling business. And he still carries himself like such an absolute fucking king of this shit. Like, they like AEW put the belt on him just last year, dude. Yeah. And that's for a reason. And as much as I have to fucking grit my teeth to say it, I am glad that WWE has given AJ Styles a very good career and has, showcased a wider audience that was never into independent wrestling, was never into TNA, and showed them a true modern day legend in not too far from his prime.
I love too, like that's how like it truly is like that's this era of wrestling, like this era of early Ring of Honor and stuff like that. It's like these guys, some of them who are still wrestling, like again, like you would have told me out of those three that Joe would have been the one who lasted long, I've been like, you're lying.
Yeah, the guy that did a fucking dropkick onto concrete stairs, that guy's gonna have the longest lasting
Not only
career.
that, but he's gonna put on like way more mass and thing, which is gonna make it harder for like to move around and stuff like that, like crazy. But like more on top of that, like it's like they say it, but it's true. This like era of indie guys and TNA and like these young guys in this era, like when you go from, I say like that early Ring of Honor till about like 2009, 2010, 2011 with like Steen and Generica and stuff like that. Like there aren't many other wrestling eras or many other wrestlers active who are as good as these guys are, as well-rounded and as like, they're a last of a dying breed. Like genuinely, I don't think many of these, like, I don't know what it is, but they grind it out and they made so many diamonds in the rough. And like with AJ, like these guys are smart. They'll watch you piss away everybody else's retirement. They're not going to let that happen. They're going to go out on their own terms. It sucked that it was in Saudi, but like AJ knew, he's like, well, I'm going to go out now. I'm not going to get milked for a retirement tour. And I'm going to go out with a great opponent, in a great match.
Yeah. That being said, AJ, if you would like to get milked for a retirement tour,
it'd be so good.
Call up Mr. Anthony Khan, please.
Hey, we can get you your kids a nice college tuition paid for, all 4 of them. Maybe even if you want a 5th.
They'll never have to work a day in their lives, Alan.
Come on, Uncle Alan. You know you want to do it so bad. Hey, or you can bring you can go for a New Japan run and bring back the Good Brothers. so they can face KOB. Get your boys in. Get your boys back in home.
That'd be hilarious.
But yeah, well, that's it for TNA Unbreakable 2005. With that being said, it's time to hit that outro. Thank you for listening to Strongest Style, a pro wrestling podcast. That has been it for us this week. We'll be back next week with another 3 hours of rousing wrestling content. If you want to follow us on social media, you can follow us at Strongest Style. You can follow me at Logan Hurston. Jack's not here, but you can follow him at Average Darth. Cooper doesn't have social media, but Cooper, any last words?
The Strongest Style community.
We will see you guys later. Goodbye. Mwah. And good night. Bang!